aka Mr. Go. Get him. As y'all know, I got my co-host with me. Starting off with the beast from the south. Introduce yourself, nigga.
Hold on, what you want, Big Daddy?
Nigga, that's what you always say any other time.
The beast from the south.
Boom, nigga.
Introduce yourself, nigga.
It's your boy. What's up?
And with him we have,
man, you already know, Courtney Nigga, aka Pretty Boy C. You feel me? We in the building.
All right, and tonight we do have a special guest, so let's go ahead and bring in our special guest who is live on the show.
Courtney, I'll get a round of applause. Look, he gave me one, bro. Come on, bro. That's okay. I'm gonna let you slack. You're gonna be doing this all evening, I see. All right. We go ahead.
Well, hey, you do realize they both technically go by Courtney.
Oh man. Well, the Courtney in the wrong.
Well, no, he go by Marcus. I go by Courtney.
Okay. Oh, can I have like a differential setup? If both of you guys are going to be called Courtney, we have to have some kind of difference that I'm going to point out. Because if I address Courtney,
just call me C. Just call me.
Hey, y'all continue. Hey, y'all continue to do this real quick. I'm gonna jump out, jump right back in.
All right.
This guy. All right. We gotta set up something to where I can just when I say Courtney
before we
they know what I'm talking to.
Let's go ahead and introduce you, sir. You've been on No Cap Reacts. Now is your official cut the noise introduction. Let the world know who you are.
I'm an IFBB and a Super League pro athlete, IFBB professional. I turned pro in 2013 in IFBB, turned pro in Super League in 2017, had a contract with Nike. Who done it? That's me. Did physique modeling for a bit, been in several industries. And I identify as a blood sport debater. I've been on several panels, been doing debates for approximately a year. I've also been on this show as well, too, on No Cap Reacts, not this one. So currently I am scheduled to be doing a few debates. You may see me on some primetime shows coming up, too. That's about it. I'm a Phoenix, Arizona native, and I represent the Christ pill, of course, but red pill ideology, I do love the descriptors of that, and I use that in my platform as well, too. So there that is.
Perfecto. And we'll just wait for Marcus to get back. Where can they find you at, Martea?
You can find me on my Instagram underneath Mighty Martea and my YouTube On The Edge. That's the name of my platform. We are currently setting it up, and the next few debates we're going to be setting up over there. And follow me on my journey as I become wrecking these fucking degenerates on my channel and everywhere else you see. So,
all right. So when you say wrecking degenerates, elaborate. What are some of the things that you got going on?
So an individual that's a degenerate is somebody that deviates from I wouldn't even say a cultural norm. They deviate from acts of pervasion in society that lead to the breaking of family units, homes, society norms. Back then, I'll give you an example. We used to have harlots back in the day. We didn't always call them hoes, but hoes have always existed. Pointing out descriptors and identifying a duck as a duck is a good thing. So this is part of the red pill, the prescription, not prescription, but identifiers that I take on. We have to be able to label and identify things as a cautionary measure. Absent any of this, because we don't have fathers in homes, you don't have sons being instructed on what's a bad woman and what's a good woman. We're just being constantly told how a woman should be treated, but not never how a man should be treated. A lot of the degenerate society stems from this. You have a lot of women sleeping around, OnlyFans accounts, and I do believe that they are prostitutes. You can't convince me otherwise. A lot of this is pervasive in society and destructive also as well, too. Also, women using men as ATMs, I'm highly against that. If they go ahead and tell men that they have a duty, but they have no duty themselves, but they only bring kitty cat to the table, that's not good either. So just a few examples. That's what degeneracy is to me and the lead up to that.
All right, and then you've done a couple of debates already so far, right?
Yeah, I've done several. Me and Rachel Wilson did a recent debate on capital punishment against Soy Pill, who's been on Tim Pool. He also got destroyed by Tim Pool and me. Whatever scraps are left, he's still existing out there somehow. I don't know how he's still doing debates or anything like that. I've debated several people on Team Fatty's channel. Everyone on X, I'm on debates every day doing that too. I'll literally debate even a devil's advocate on certain things, because I think that if you can't argue from your opponent's side, you can't really stand your ground on your side as well too. So I love debates. It's a confrontational arena where you have to be competent, and you have to also have wit. And a lot of this is just being quick on your feet. So it's like verbal chess.
All right. Well, welcome to Cut the Noise podcast.
Oh, you drinking wine?
Feeding my son.
Red
This
wine.
guy got a
Red
fireplace. Hey, hold on. I would hide those wires. I don't know why my OCD's kicking in with those wires. I would have just tucked them in the wall.
Listen, I tried, bro. Listen, the way
Hey, I'll send you a guy. He can fix that for you, man.
Right. Hey, I might have to, because listen, it bothers me too, dog. So I try my best to hide it the best I can.
Hide it the best you put it behind the wall, man. Get a professional.
Something you can go to Walmart.
Anyway, yeah.
Walmart that you could actually go get. Paint it the same color as your wall.
That's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah, the paint. Yeah, I think I was gonna do black. I think I was gonna paint it.
So
black.
you just put the covers on it, but make sure to paint on the same cover as your wall, and then it's never seen. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Is yours.
It'll get there. It'll get there. Hey, it's a slow progression. We working on it.
Hey, Chunk Buck. Those are yours. All right, we're just waiting for Marcus to get back.
What is Marcus? Is Marcus on hiatus? What's going on with that, man? He said nothing. Hey, Daddy went to go get milk and not come back. This sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he got. Come
on, Marcus, you're making us look bad, bro.
I don't know what's going on with the internet over there,
man. The Cricket Wireless is acted up, ain't it?
He said Cricket Wireless.
He said this is crazy as hell, man.
And today, when your AT&T is not working,
yeah, Section 8 though got good routers, bro. I see. This is horrendous, bro.
it's Section 8.
Yeah, this is bad, man. Oh man. Waiting on BP time for real, man. This is crazy.
So let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
Anybody watch NBA Finals?
Yes.
And did we see?
I heard there was a game of. I'm not an avid sports watcher. I know I'm a walking contradiction. A pro athlete that doesn't watch sports at all. I honestly don't, man.
That's all right.
Maybe an outlier though.
Usually they don't watch it. They don't watch it either. I think I'm the only person here that actually actively stays involved in watching. I watch the NBA Finals and the football is the only thing I don't miss, but that's from being past football player.
Hey, John, let me tell you why. This is the reason why. I'm gonna get to it. The reason why I don't watch sports, and I don't have to make any justification for this. The reason why I don't watch sports is because if ever you've watched a movie, you've imagined yourself as the character, right? We've done this all plenty of times. If I tell you a story and I tell you hypothetically, you can visualize yourself doing this. When I watch sports, it's never sat well with me if I wasn't doing what said person was doing. The second point I'll make is, why would I wear a jersey of another man's last name on me? Didn't we do this as slaves? And then not to mention, I would rather have somebody rocking my jersey instead of me rocking another person's, because I could celebrate a team, but I'm not doing anything to help them win. What am I doing? Well wishes? So for me, I'd rather have my jersey out there.
Now, I agree with that. I'm an avid Kobe fan. I'm an avid Jordan fan. But you know what? I've never had either one of their jerseys.
Okay.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be.
You can't hold me anyway. Go ahead.
Listen, I did get me a LeBron James jersey. I did.
I would never have LeBron.
The last time,
No, man,
I would
that's
say
like
this.
that's
I haven't worn
sacrilege.
it.
Anyways, I'm not even a
I
sports
haven't worn
fan.
it
I
in
know,
a while.
bro.
Yeah, I haven't worn it in a while, but I did give me a LeBron James jersey, man. I did. So I will say that I did. But I haven't worn it in a while. So.
That's the equivalent of I slept with the fat chick at the party and I had to run cover for John Martea. That's okay. I mean, hey, do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna judge you for it. All right, go ahead, man. Feel like I'm buying time to Marcus. So, hey, let me just call him Marcus. If we call him Marcus, I can call him Marcus, right?
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, that's his name. That's his name.
My whole diatribe. Why does he go by Courtney? If we have Marcus, and then he shows Courtney on.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. This sounds very familiar. He ran to the store to get some milk. Daddy never came back, and Daddy used the alias. Oh man, this is black culture for real. This is crazy as hell. Bro, come on, man.
What's okay?
Dude, here's your responsibilities, Marcus, over here with your people, bro.
All right. And for those of y'all that are watching, let's go ahead and jump in the chat. We already got 34
Marcus
people tuned in.
Ditching.
We haven't even started. We already got 34 people tuned in. We haven't even got into any of the subject lines. We still waiting for our fourth person to actually show up.
I think there should be a penalization here because he wants to show up late.
Let me send him a text.
Anybody want to raise hands for him having a penalization? He should be penalized for this. Marcus needs to tell us the worst thing he did to get some punani. That's what he needs to do. That is his penance he has to pay. I'm telling you right, he has to tell us the worst thing he had to do to get a woman. This is what he got to do it, man. I'm telling you, I'm the arbiter of saying that that's his penance tonight. Because you want us to wait up for you, it's got to be worth my time. Come on, Marcus.
We got some nice little conversation pieces tonight.
I got some too.
What are some of the things you want to talk about?
Oh man, you just want to ruin the movie. This guy. Hey, how does the movie end? You that guy? Man, tell me about the movie.
All the fucking time.
I told you the whole movie before you went to go see it, and then you just mad at me because I spoiled it for you.
Do they not do trailers for movies? Give me the fucking trailer.
Yes, they ruined the whole movie. Thank you for proving my point, John.
Give me the fucking
I
trailer.
See the whole movie in 30 seconds. Why do I need to pay for this whole shit?
Look, he mad because he can't ride on all the rides.
I hope that was a shot to the mental gut there instead of if I follow you correctly. I kind of like that. It's a nice one. Yes, short bus for sure.
Short bus shawty, short bus shawty.
I need this absentee father acting Marcus to show up. Come on, bro.
I know of all the times for them to have some bullshit. So, did he text you back?
Yeah, he said he finna jump in right now.
All right.
How come everything's got to be finna or fixing to?
Ladies,
just curious.
And gentlemen, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. As you are here, if you're not, go to @Cut the Noise on YouTube and make sure you follow the channel. Martea, what's your channel called?
It's called On the Edge. On the Edge. Don't read into it too much.
I like it.
Go there for edgy material. And I'm not talking about degenerate edgy stuff. I'm talking about just really controversial topics. We're diving in deep in social shifts, things like this. Political debates too on AB issues, child deletion, whether or not it's good or bad. I've done capital punishment debates, the whole nine, whether or not it's good for a man to sleep around or a woman. Things like this, really engaging topics and discussion. That's what we produce it On the Edge.
I like it.
When's your next debate?
I have two coming up. Well, I have a panel I'm doing tomorrow on hybristophilia. Do you guys know what that is?
No, I ain't never heard of that shit.
I'm so glad I get to school both of y'all today.
Yeah, definitely.
Hybristophilia is the proclivity for women to have a sexual or romantic attraction to killers or very dangerous people. We've seen proclivities of this when people get mass inboxes or mail to their prison when, you know, guys like, I forgot his freaking name now. Bad time to have a brave fart. So like the guy who killed the person, the banker, now all of a sudden we have him with abs. Women are fawning over him. That's hybristophilia. This is indicative of, and you can rationalize this because you want the most violent, aggressive person around your children because your lineage did get destroyed. You want to be around the highest risk of chance of survival, and that's a man who can be dangerous but isn't dangerous to you. So to me, that makes sense, but that's an overcorrection when we talk about hybristophilia, and we're going to dive deep into that discussion. And then on Monday, I have a debate. Is porn good for corn? It's not. I'm going to say corn. Is corn good for society? And I'm on the anti side. I'm literally going to rip these guys to shreds. So be on the lookout for that on Team Fatty's channel. Oh, hey, you know, somebody's dad's back home.
Oh, fucked up ass internet. Yeah.
Not anymore, I guess.
Yeah. It's still fucked up, but we'll figure that shit out.
Oh, you finally decided to show up and fulfill your duties. That's good.
Hey, son, chill out.
I like the YouTube. Keep that energy, by the way, too. I like how you know, I'm gonna give you a compliment. I'm glad that your screen cleared up. It looks like it's clear. It's not 80 pixel, whatever that is. It looked like you were filming from a flip phone earlier, and now everything's better. So that's good. So I'm giving you kudos, even though you didn't clap for me when I showed up. It's fine.
Hey, give me the kudos in a couple minutes when the shit starts fucking up.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into it tonight. So, I think that all of us have all had our red pill moments. We had our red pill conversations. We've dealt and jumped deeply into red pill. So, I think one of the biggest topics that we have had conversations about, but we've never jumped deeply into, is the fact of 50-50 conversation, 50-50 relationships. Okay. I think it's pretty clear where I stand with 50-50. I'm a 95-5, if not less, type of person in my household over here. We'll go to Courtney. What is your thought process?
Well, my ultimate thought process is I think that it should be 100-0. However, given the context, I will say that there are situations where men aren't able to do that, but I think that's something that they should strive to do if they aren't able to do it right now. That's something that they should build on, and that's why I'm heavy on the leveling up aspect of it. If you are a man and you are in a position like, well, I can't do what my chick has to work right now, well, you should be planning for you to be in a position where you can be the one that's taking care of 100% of the bills while your chick is maintaining the home, you know, maintaining the children and different things like that. So that's how I look at it. At some point, especially when you're young, I advocate for that. Get in a relationship young, build the foundation young, you know, where you both may have to work, but the ultimate goal is for your woman not to work and take care of the kids at the home. So.
All right, we'll go ahead to Marcus. Your thought process?
You should play the Jeopardy music right now.
I don't have that sound.
Man, you slacking, bro. This is the perfect time because he's taking forever.
Still cutting out.
I think he's frozen.
Man, hey,
This
don't the internet players. All I gotta say, man. What the fuck? God damn.
Hey, cricket is supreme sometimes. You just gotta slap it a few times.
I gotta say, God damn, bro. I'm about to throw that bitch in the fucking.
Well, we can hear you now.
Hey,
no, you good.
Hey, with me, I believe in 50-50. I believe in 50-50, 100%, bro. Like for me, I just to where I want to come in a situation where I'll come in the crib. I've been busting my ass. You know, I'm making all the money. Your girl's gonna have some sort of station to do something. With me, if I'm paying 100%, you don't say nothing. Like if I don't agree with it, it's my way or the highway. But if you're contributing, then we can talk. We can talk about certain things, but it will still be 100%. If there's something definite, if I'm
Wow, that was loud.
if you're about it, it's not gonna happen. But for me, I would have a little bit of say so in some, and that's about it. Like I just don't. I know I can't do shit where I'm 100% putting all in, and someone else is telling me like how I should do something.
All right, Martea, your take on 50-50.
My take on 50-50 is I think Marcus should do 100% of his first name instead of 50% of his full name. Next, moving into this, I think that 100% would be ideal. I think 100 to 0 would be good. I think that if you establish a foundation, you go ahead and have your leadership and then you have responsibility. We're going to have a paradox that we have created in the household. The problem with Courtney's prescription is if you pay 50% of everything, you're going to inevitably turn the other person into a roommate. Why? Because now you eliminate a hierarchy. She can't look up to you. She can't admire you because she has her equal. So the difference is like if we're paying 50% and then they're paying 50%, people inevitably don't fuck roommates for a reason. So if we look into this logic, like the reason why I want to pay 100% is because I want to be able to save the queen from the castle, slay the dragon, and be able to be the provider and be the hero of the situation. Absent any of this, you don't have a hierarchical role. You'd have to tell me how this is different from one of these alternate lifestyle relationships where they also call their people partner and nothing really gets produced and they end up splitting because that's what happens.
Okay,
100%
so,
if you can, as I do.
So for me, yeah, no. I mean, if you can, no, if I want $1 billion, my girl's still gonna contribute. I don't give a fuck. Like no, because again, I just know
you're
how
saying
real
that her
world works,
contribution would be financial.
It could be.
Her
It doesn't necessarily have to be financial,
saying?
but how girl shit work. But hey, the girls that I deal with, I'm just gonna say like most of the chicks I've dealt with in like a serious sort of like relationship have been like had their own sort of careers, right? But doesn't mean it's gonna take away. They don't run shit. They don't run shit that like that is important. At least in a fact of just say this. Let me give you an example. So just say if we were going to paint the house, right? Say we're going to paint the house, and the house we're going to paint is a certain kind of color, but we live in a cookie cutter neighborhood. She loves this color. I love the same color, whatever. But we know it's way different from the neighborhood. And she says, you know what? I want to go in my feelings and do this. I'm going to say, you know what? This resale value is probably going to happen. Our next house will make it. Nah. We're not going to do it. We're going to go the same, whatever. But
He sounds like a robot right now.
Is if I wow.
I missed a whole segment of what you were talking. It sounded like you were a robot and then you froze.
You started to robot out there for a minute for about.
Then you came back. I'm like, this guy got a voice modulator. Try to explain to me something that is probably going to sound crazy to me. See,
no,
hey,
Marcus, shitty ass internet player.
Marcus, can I give you a little help here? If you have Cricket Wireless, which I suspect you have, and if you tell me you don't, it's probably the equivalent to some Section 8 dumb. But okay, I'm not really jabbing here. What I'm saying is, like, if you are going to make a statement, can you be more concise so that way? Because if you tend to like monologue and talk longer, that's longer things that is going to be left out, man. If you could just get to the point, that would help out a whole lot. Make it shorter.
Yeah. Main thing is, I literally want, if my girl has to be able to contribute in a situation to where I'm going to listen to her. So she needs to put in.
Wait, she needs to contribute for you to listen to her?
If she's not financially involved in the home, you won't listen to her?
I'm not going to listen to her.
Yeah, can you make that? I don't understand how. Well, hold on. Yeah. Let's go ahead and unravel this. So if a woman doesn't financially contribute, you're not going to listen to her?
No, not at all. Like, it has nothing to do with the money. It's just more of, hey, my biggest thing is, bro, if I want all the work and I come home and I got 18 on shit outside, I'm gonna have something to say. I'm gonna be pissed. Don't do some shit like that. You gotta contribute. You gotta put it in. If you go by my way, then.
But here's my question to that. I'm gonna ask you this question. If you have 18 boxes sitting outside the door from Amazon and you're single, are you bitching about those 18 boxes as a single person?
No,
because if there's 18 boxes sitting outside of there when you have a girlfriend, like, who are you bitching at and for what? Especially if they're your packages.
Because I fucking work for it. That's my money.
So here's the other problem.
So we're saying
if you have 18,
this is me. No, okay. Let's not go.
Marcus,
like,
if you have 18 boxes in front of your house, there's been too much allowance, and I don't think you set enough boundaries, in my opinion. I would have to assume that, because if you're not looking at your account, things like this, what has led up to 18 boxes? Surely this doesn't happen overnight.
Well, that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, are there his 18 boxes or her 18 boxes?
He said her.
Hey, just for me, bro. I just don't attract or even kind of want girls have to do, like, look at me for everything. Like, that's just not my style. You know, that's just me personally. Like, you know.
So hold on. If they're not looking at you for everything,
yeah.
If they're not looking at you for everything, what else are they outsourcing? If you're not the source of everything masculine they need in their life.
Oh, no. We're not talking about masculine. I'm just talking anything else. All this shit. You know how girls are.
Well, there's an umbrella. It's an entailment.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how women are.
So the reason why I said masculine is because if you're working and you are the person that slays the dragon, you're going to say the queen from the castle, you're going to do all this other stuff. If she needs security, it comes from you. That's money. If she needs also another form of security, that's your physical presence, everything else. What is she outsourcing if she's not getting it from you? Mm-hmm. If you don't want her to get everything from you, what is she getting and who from?
We're not all this stuff. What girls are actually into.
Okay, but so this is where I'm a little lost. I'm going.
Be honest.
As a man, it is my job to be the leader.
Understand is, hey, like, I chicks who are outside. I don't deal with girls who are outside, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, as far as what you're talking about, all girls I ever deal with, they don't do skeptical shit. Like, they're not out at the club with their friends late at night. They ain't doing shit like that. So for me, I guess I don't get that part. Like, what she needs me for. What she needs me for is to be the man in the house. And I need her to be the woman in the house. But I also understand that she has her own, like, things that she wants to do. And again, if I'm not with certain things that a lot of chicks do. A lot of shit they buy, all that kind of shit. I'm not with it. Like my girl now, she buys everything name brand. in like for like everything. For me, I'm a thrifty kind of motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm paying for that shit. But if I was the one that was doing it, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
Well, Marcus,
For
that
me,
doesn't,
like you have to
this
respect
doesn't really make sense. Can I tell you why this doesn't make sense to me?
And what I'm doing is,
So,
I wish the shit would be
Marcus, I think you're in your own way
up
a
right
little
now,
bit.
man.
Marcus, I'm gonna tell you why
100%.
you're in your own way a little
100%.
bit. On one side, you're speaking out of two sides of your mouth. On one side, you say, I want 50-50 so she can have her own say. But on the other side of your mouth, you're saying, well, no, I don't want her to do this with her money because she spends on name brand things and all this other stuff. If we had adhered to the principles of even what Pretty Boy was talking about, or, you know, even Mr. Go Get 'em was talking about, we wouldn't have this problem because we are the arbiter of financial security, and you have say so, you have leadership, you have authority, and not to mention that this is the problem that you're going to keep running into when you have a roommate scenario that you create. How do you reconcile this?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, I'm not gonna try to change her. If she likes to buy name brand stuff, that's fucking fine. It's not
You
big of
just
a
said it
deal.
wasn't fine. Which one
That's
is
gonna be a
it?
deal breaker.
You said I don't like
No,
that
no,
she
if
buys
it's
name
my
brand
money.
stuff, and then you say it's fine.
No. Listen. If it's my money, I don't do that. But if it's her money, she can do what the fuck she wants to do with it. That's not a deal breaker. So like, yo,
Okay.
if we chilling and like I said, for me, I like a little bit of independence for women to have, but not as much what she doesn't have to come to me about like important things. Like my girl, she talks to me about it, and we talk about it, and I tell her what's the best thing I think she should do, and that's where we go. But like as far as like other stuff, I'm not nitpicking. If it's my money, say yo, like you don't do that, and I'm not gonna. I'm not like a fucking warden here. So if she wants to go buy some fucking expensive shit that she wants, she does it with her money. Fine, you do what you gotta do. That's cool. That's not something I would do. But guess what? You ain't gonna do it with my money. That's it. I mean,
So
I don't know how to explain to you more, but
Courtney, so you want two individual people to be in a relationship and stay two individual people. Is that what you want? You want her to have her own stuff, and then you have your own stuff. And then even in the house, you have your stuff, I have my stuff. This is literally a roommate we're describing, Courtney. Marcus.
Nah.
This is what I talk about. When you don't want to go 100% in your name.
That's not it.
Wait, can you tell me how it's not a roommate situation that you create? Because we keep going back to this, Marcus. How's that not a roommate?
Well, I don't look at it as a roommate situation. I look at it how I'm built. The way I'm built is a lot of times I don't want to be taken advantage of. That's how I look at life. So for me, I want again. I don't want because I don't want my girl to think 100% like me. I want her to throw me some monkey wrenches in it. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. I'm not the kind of person we need to be one on important shit. But on other shit, like I need to understand what she's thinking. I need to understand that shit. But like I don't need her to be a mirror of me. I don't need her to be that. Like when I like old cars. I don't need my girl to go with me to the car show. You know what I'm saying? Like that's certain shit I like to do with my friends.
That doesn't make your girl like you. So as a leader in the house, I'm literally am the one that gets to help make decisions because unfortunately women, okay, so you say she's in the process of buying a car. I'm pretty sure she got like 5, 7, 10 different cars she's been interested in because narrowing it down to one, that's what they're coming to you for 9 times out of 10.
100%.
Yeah, so that's where the leadership comes into play.
Yeah, and she tells me, she's like, yo, I'm looking at this broker that's gonna to find me the car I want. I'm like, nah, don't do that. Cause like I tell her, hey, you're gonna get fucked over, you do that. You can do the same job as they're gonna do and spend less money. So that's the reason she comes to me about this shit. And that's the way it needs to be. Like if she did some shit without like an important decision without coming to me, then it's no reason for us to be together.
So,
Okay.
Mark,
do you think
the way I do shit, man, is
respect-
not 100%. You say what?
clearly it's not if you want to go 50-50. It's clearly not 100%. I mean, you don't even put your full name in there. That's the last I'll say about that because I feel like I'm beating the dead horse. So with this whole situation, I'm going to fine tune this real quick. I'm going to reframe it, make it real simple for you. I'm going to make it real simple for you,
Okay.
Marcus. You have the worldview of she has her own stuff. I have my own stuff. You still haven't answered my question about how you're not roommates. You said, because I'm just not built for this. Well, you don't have to be built for anything to receive anything. This could be anything. I don't have to be built for combat to actually go into combat and then complain because there's bullets flying by me. So if I'm in a situation and it's not a good outcome because I don't know what she's doing with her money because she's buying whatever and she's asking me because she's constantly broke, I don't have any clear vision because we're not sharing much in common. Because I'm telling you one thing, if whoever makes the most money in the household, you can look at statistics for this, usually makes most of the decisions that happen in the household. But I think that you're not being an authoritarian, you're not being controlling or bossing if you know where money's going. I think that's wisdom. If you know, if you're going to complain about packages on the doorstep, if you're going to complain about certain things and say, just not my money or anything like that, why not just consolidate everything so you have adequate leadership and you have a clear vision? A coach isn't going to look at things and micromanage things. A good coach is going to look at the whole field from one end to the next. He's not going to complain about blades of grass. He's going to say, well, I see the whole game. You don't have this if you're only a defensive coordinator and you're only such and such. You want to be the head coach. And that's what I'm saying. When you monopolize all the money and you are the arbiter of financial security, you don't have to worry about all these things you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me how it's not a roommate? Because I still haven't heard that.
And that's the thing, though. I'm not worried about any of this stuff. It's just the little stuff that I know would irritate me. So the thing is, bro, you gotta be realistic with yourself and understand what irritates you. It might not be the same. I'm not like neither one of you guys, okay? But on a bigger level, yes, I want us to be the best we can be, and I know what I need to make me work the best. And if I'm pissed off about some other shit that maybe someone else spent, and I think it's not about like this person is worried about, how I would think about it, then I'm just not gonna do it, bro. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself. I'm probably not explaining myself good enough. But here, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think
you are, but it's okay. We're
I'm 100% not explaining myself good enough here. But my biggest thing is I know myself and I know shit I get pissed off at. I know shit that other people can deal with that I can't deal with. And
so
most
Marcus,
things I can't deal with.
You're talking about emotion. I'm talking about duties
we
and
all got it, bro.
responsibilities.
We all got emotions, man. Like shit. Hey, you got to understand, we all got it. The way is you got to
but here's the thing, though. I pick and choose times I get pissed off and when I'm not. I can't let I'd rather cry in the car than let my woman see me cry in the house. For instance, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's less masculine to do this. Case in point,
when you understand your emotions, then you learn how to work around it. It might not be a good emotion. Hey, I'm not cool with the way I handle a lot of shit, but I work the fuck around it because I understand who I am and I can't change it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that.
You can't.
So I understand, like, what I would get pissed off at. So I do what I need to do to work around that part. So like, it might not work for you. It might not work for either one of you guys. But like for me, that shit fucking works. Because when I didn't let it work, it 100% didn't work. When I try to be that dude.
Here's my thing. And maybe it's because I've never been in that situation. Like I don't move in with women. I won't live under their roof. I don't do things that allows them to have, control.
Yes.
That we know that it is misused and misguided many a times because they're emotional beings, right? So I've always held the frame of being the leader of the relationship, the man of the relationship. yes, we can sit down and have conversations about everything, right? But not to the intent because I am the leader of our relationship, which is exactly what she's looking for. Get to most cases did not make the final decision because it's not an emotional decision, which honestly is what keeps her panty wet. And she loves me even more because I take a lot off of her plate. Whereas what you're saying is you're not removing any of that off of her. It's like hold your own weight, pull your own fucking bag full of bricks with you. Because this is how we're gonna do this.
What I'm saying is just more better for my mental. That's it. It's not that I don't do what a man doesn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like if her tire's flat, I'm fucking helping her out. If shit goes down in the house, I do everything around the crib like that needs to be fixed. Like I do everything. My thing is because I know how I'll react. Again, and these are just like situations that literally never happened before. But I've definitely played it out because I want to make sure I know how I am. If I was to take care of a girl and she did not work, she didn't do anything, she stayed at home, took care of her house. I know when if I get home and something was purchased that I did not agree on, there's gonna be a problem. So to avoid that situation, hey, my girl has to work because that takes a lot of the stress out. You know what I mean? You know how many dudes I know that work all day and then their wives are stay-at-home moms. You know how many dudes that go home and their wife looks at them like they ain't did shit all day and say, "Yo, you need to take care of these kids real quick. I need to go. I need to get the fuck out." Because you know what I mean? You know, like fuck that shit, man. I'm not dealing with that. No, I'm like, Marcus, yo, I've been busting my ass all day too. It's gonna be a fucking fight.
So Marcus, if your woman does things underneath the purview of your leadership, I think that is bad leadership. If your woman does, like, if you allow things, would you agree that allowance, what we allow is what we allow to continue? And if it happens, you know, once a bad mistake, the second time it's on us, right? So if you know guys, when they come home and their woman treats them, you know, like the lowest of the lowest, and you come into a home, I think that beforehand, when you meet people, I think that we need to pit women properly. If you know a woman is going to have this behavior with kids, I guarantee you saw this in the dating process somehow. There's been something where she was just shrugging things off and didn't want to do this. 9 times out of men, and when I talk to men, they will tell me things. Oh, I saw this. I just kept going no matter what. So a lot of times it's our fault on that term. We say this, but we don't take accountability for that. So I think that we need to vet women better and say, you know what, before I sleep with this woman, I'm going to take like probably about 2 months just to see how she acts before I give her the, you know, whatever. If you're the type that doesn't believe in marriage, whatever that is, there's a vetting process, but men don't do this. They don't vet for women that are just going to run through your pockets, do any of this other stuff. And then not to mention that if she is the type of person to do this, put your foot down and say something. To me, I think those men, marriage is weaponized. I'll agree with you. It's weaponized against men, but I think that the new modern marriage is just a relationship because people don't want to get into marriage because people don't want to lose half their shit. I agree with them. Why people would have secular relationship marriages, I don't get. But at the same time, you control that. If you aren't the leader of your household, like this wouldn't be happening. There are ways to mitigate this a lot. I guarantee you a lot of men that are allowing this to happen, they're putting up with it because they don't want to lose their kids.
Oh no, I 100. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know, but there's ways around it. It's not a leopard before it's a leopard in front of you. You can see certain things.
I just know how people work, bro. I just know how people work. Like if I was going to get a girl who would be cool with that sort of guidance, to be real with you, I don't think she would be one for me. I'm not a one with a girl like that. I have to like, or that girl like, cause like she couldn't say anything back to me. You know, like, and if I'm paying for everything, bro, you ain't saying shit to me. Like, if I'm paying for everything, I'm telling you how I am. Like, if I'm paying for everything, it is my way or the highway, bro. Like, that's the way it's gonna be. But if you
Wait,
contribute,
well, hold
we
on.
got
That
something-
doesn't
we can have
sound good.
conversation.
What woman would be attracted to that though? You sound like you sound like
Not-
H
probably not a lot.
That's what you sound like in a relationship.
Not a lot.
Because here's the thing.
We got a chat from a woman here. Rachel said, "I'm with the man. I am with the man being in control of the finances, hands down. Less stress. I know I'm good. That's a great feeling."
Rachel's based. I'm tell you right now, Rachel's based. But that's the thing though. If you're saying if she has all this, if I have all the power, I'm just gonna be an authoritarian. That's crazy. You can't control a woman. That's insane. That's an emotional response. That's crazy.
So
That is the emotional response.
Ladies, please do me a favor. Like Rachel, please speak up. Hit the chat. Let us know if you want to be in a 50-50 relationship or a 80-20, a 90-10, a 95-5, a 60-40.
But
Marcus, you want absolute control and power, and that's crazy. That's unrealistic, even for somebody that's submissive.
Bro, I'm telling you, I don't. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want it. That's
So
the
what you're
I'm
saying
talking.
is you
I
can't
don't
control
want
yourself. Is that what you're saying? You can't control yourself if you have absolute power. You're not benevolent.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
If I am paying for everything, it is literally like if I don't agree with it, you got no say so in it.
So that if you're paying for
That's
everything,
wow.
just stay
That's
single.
crazy.
Hey,
Okay.
Again,
Just stay single. And then
again,
That is
listen
wow,
to me.
man.
Hey,
That's crazy.
Will you listen to me? I know how I am. That's why I don't deal with other people like that. That's why I don't want a girl who wants me to
Marcy
pay for
said,
everything.
"I'm staying single."
Hell yeah. I'm with you.
Oh shit! Yes, let let the ladies. They are there. Thank you for chatting in, ladies.
Rachel's
Not
based.
emotional at all. I'm a nurse, can hold my own, but I'll give it all to him to take care of me too.
Courtney, that's what Rachel is showing is a gender proclivity. Women naturally want to do this. Despite having all the money, everything else, they want an easier life laid out to them by a man. They want to feel protected. They want to secure. They don't want to be the one making you feel protected. They don't want to be the hero in your story because she's going to feel like she's your mother at the end of the day. Women do not want this, nor do they want to become roommates. In order to eliminate this, you could say, and I understand you're saying, well, I just don't deal with those women. I know myself. Well, that's fine. That's fine. If you don't want to just date these people and you want to date your own way, well, fine. Maybe that's just the Marcus way of doing things.
It is. It has to be the Marcus way. It can't be anyone else's way. It has to be.
Well, at least I
will kind of throw this in too as well. If you do have your woman, if you've already set the standard and the boundaries of everything, she is a reflection of you at the end of the day. So if she already knows how you think, she's gonna move in the way that you think already. So just in the example that you use as far as the Amazon boxes, she understands how you are as a man, and she already is a follower of you, so she understands how you move. So you probably won't even see those boxes in the first place.
What you allow is what will continue. That's what he's saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if you've already set the boundary and there's a friend conversation, you won't even have to worry about it, big dog.
But I mean, again, that's the same thing though. Is you actually have to take the initiative to put everything in place, which means like you're already leading, right? And that's the thing is, like the question initially was about 50-50, which is based off of a home of, who is the breadwinner in the situation. And it's more than the 50-50 conversation is more than just financial, right? But because that's the easiest way to really put it in motion or put it in focus or make it make sense to people. Roxy said 95.5 submission comes natural with the correct man leading. The talking back, what kind of woman are you?
Oh, she hitting home with this one.
She said, "What kind of word
Hey,
you
and
causing, Marcus? Got you, get you a
she's
real
in
one."
home. She in the
Hey,
soft spot right
And
now,
then,
bro.
hold on,
and we
because Rachel came back with another one. She said, "Facts,
okay.
thank you, praying hands."
And we already know from this podcast. I've already said, yo, I was a simp. I've done a whole bunch of
I
simp
can
shit,
tell.
and
I can tell. You don't got to
in my
tell me
past, yeah,
twice.
100%. Oh yeah. I'm not scared to admit that shit, bro. Like real, but that has made me how I am right now. And the thing is, again, I don't. I'm just saying for me personally, bro. Like I want my girl to have shit that she got going on. So like if we just say we open a business, just say I open a business, I want to be able to talk to her about that shit. Like I don't want to be able to dictate everything. So for me, it's like, yo, like I'm going to be the provider, like 100 hands down. Like I wouldn't be at the point where I'm like, you gotta work, you have to, and you need to pay half what I pay. That's stupid, bro. I'm not gonna do that. That's
Wait,
insane.
that's kind of what you
My
just
thing is,
said.
I kind of want her to
That's how
have.
you open everything up. You said,
But-
well, she has to have her job and I have to have my job because I don't want her using my money. This is a contradiction right now,
So
man. I
she
need you
can
to clear
go-
this up for me. This is wild, man.
I guess, you know, I guess like the way I explain shit is not the way you guys are taking it.
Marcus,
What I'm
I
saying
think.
is,
Yeah, go ahead.
for
I'll let you
her to
finish.
step up to the table. No, go ahead.
Marcus, I think you have a conditional standard. I don't think you have an unchanging standard. When I look at Courtney over here, and then when I look at my boy John over here, they do not have a conditional standard that changes for nobody. I think that they are the rock that their women's emotional waves are going to crash into. I think when times get hard, they're going to stay a certain way. I think when times get better, they're going to stay the same way and nothing changes with them. The woman around them will change, but I think since you have a changing standard, you're going to constantly have flux and flow and all this other stuff that happens. And the reason why you can't really be concise with this is because you do not have a foundation. I think that I don't know what your worldview is. We haven't dived into that. But I think the reason why you can't relate what the standard is and you're contradicting yourself a few times is because you go with what feels good. And I think when we leave with emotion, what feels good, it's very conditional because you may love hard on Monday and then Tuesday you're just in a mood. And all of a sudden it just depends on how the day goes. How in what Courtney was talking about is whatever you do, you're going to map onto the woman you're talking to. And if you map on conditional things that are highs and lows, what you're going to have is a very bipolar condition in the house. And that's just going to be indecisive. Marcy said wishy-washy. She's nailing what I'm talking about right now. And all you're going to have is just waves in an ocean, no direction. The ship needs a captain, man. We got to have a captain. We just can't have crews. There has to be somebody dying with the ship. There's honor in this, man. So I would say that you need a standard that's unchanging for anybody. And absent this, all you have is what society deems fit for you and how you feel. And I think how you feel shouldn't be leading a relationship. It's duty and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way that actually works out at the end is when you have children in the home, the children can actually see, especially young boys. Young boys know firsthand, this is how I need to be as a man. Because children do not learn by what they're told, they learn by what they see. When you have a daughter and your daughter sees this, she understands her role in a man's life as opposed to this is how it could be right now. And then later it may actually change. And then this is what we're going through now. So this is how it is. Again, the reason that I love to use the word frame for a man is because in order for a house to be what a house is, you have to have a strong foundation, but a stronger frame, because that is what is holding your walls, your ceiling, your roof. Everything is attached. All your drywall is attached to the frame. As a matter of fact, when you hang a TV on the wall, the TV is attached to the framing, the 2x4s that are behind your drywall. The frame is literally what makes your house a home. So when that woman can't, or is not attached to your frame because your frame is, in other words of Marcy, wishy-washy. Unfortunately, you now have a relationship that is going to fall apart all the way 100%. Rachel said, damn, pro going hard, but I agree with your point of view.
We got to be hard. We have to have something that's clear and black and white for people. If you go ahead and tell somebody a message in how you view society and a household and how you want things run, just to go ahead and jump off of John's point, the kids in the household are going to reflect the behavior that they see, and they're going to map this on. If they see a hierarchy and they see that the husband or a father, whoever this is, has the sole duties and responsibilities, they're going to be the same. What we're doing is we're producing clones to some degree, people that are just like us. And believe it or not, Marcus, I'm going to tell you this. Your wife does the same thing. If women are attracted and they have high attraction and sexual desire, as you could say, towards somebody else or towards you, actually, let's just bring it back to you. They're going to start liking certain things you like. They're going to start doing things. They can say, well, I've never liked rock, but because he likes rock, I go because I really love my man. You know, things like this can happen. So she's going to pattern her behavior off of what you do if she really likes you. If you're a bum, if you're a lame, she's not going to do this because now you're in competition. She pays half the bills. You pay half the bills. How do I sound if I come to a woman and say, babe, you got your half of the rent? This is a relationship killer. You want a woman to drop like a Popeye's biscuit down here. Tell her if she got half her rent and see how she acts and see how much bedroom fund you have at the end of this. I guarantee you in marriages, they collapse all the time when there's no role and the man doesn't take this responsibility. It is in service to his wife and has a role. And you have to have an expectation of her to have duty and service to you. She can't, what I'm talking about is not women that don't do nothing in the house and sit up and buy stuff all day. I'm talking about women that can produce kids that are good, submissive, meaning voluntary cooperation and obedient, meaning I'm going to, even though I don't like it, I'm going to do this for the greater picture. Things like this, these are duties and response for better or worse, for sick and all this other. People throw this out the window, but when you get into a relationship, when times get hard, people forget all this stuff because it's about me. Why? 50-50, things like this, because I got my own. The problem is people get into relationships and they want to be independent people. You become one. This is crazy. So when you come, and I'm not preaching or anything like this, even in secular relationships, our ideal is to become one, not two different people living in the same house. That's still a roommate. You haven't explained to me how that's not a roommate situation.
Roxy
You have to be.
This is really what it is.
Hold on. Chat,
you have to be
said
one.
men with 50-50 mentality is why the world is the way it is. Stern men, the rock of the family, raise great children. They become great men and women. Those are the good husbands and wives. Right behind that, Kane, we got cheerleader Rachel said in all caps, preach, Roxy.
Basically, all the women are.
All right, so when I
conceding this whole point that I'm saying.
So one thing I'll say, one thing I'll say about when I say 50-50, that doesn't mean, I'm coming to you for half the rent. Shit, I can pay all the mortgage. We can figure that shit out. But you're contributing. When I grew up in Mississippi. So when we saw families, the most humbling and dopest thing I ever saw was my neighbor. He would always buy his wife a new car. After 5 years it was paid off, he would take her car and he would buy her a new car all the time. That's exactly how they rolled, like year by year. And it showed like shit. Well, even with my parents, like the men did everything for the women. And that's exactly what I want to do. But they worked because they had something to come to and they talked about it. It wasn't a situation to where and again, in a realistic situation, a lot of us aren't going to be millionaires. Like a lot of us, a lot of people make, 80 shit less than that together to make a home. So a lot of times, like for me, it's like, if you make, $90,000, why should you suffer to have a life and your girl isn't like contributing? Well, for me, that's just kind of wild.
Can I ask you a question?
That's most American.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What do you think are the duties a wife has, or a woman that you're in a relationship? What do you think her duties are? Can you tell me what a woman's duties are?
What her duties are?
Yes.
Her duties are to shit. It depends on what. I mean, if you're in a relationship. All right, let's go for me. The duties are for us to have a fucking wonderful life. That is our duty. I don't have
Right,
kids.
that doesn't tell me
so
anything. Like,
it's not something I can focus on.
what are her
What?
duties though? A wonderful life doesn't tell me. Like, what specifically makes a wonderful life? What do you mean?
Yeah, the house is a home.
So like,
We'll come home.
Yeah.
What
we
does
have
that mean?
clean
A house is a home. Great. What makes a house a home?
Yeah, we have a clean house. We make sure that we are financially okay.
Who's cleaning the house?
I don't ever want to suffer. Say what? Who cleans the house?
Who's cleaning the house? You say we have a clean house. But who's cleaning the house?
Well, most times girls like to clean the house. I mean, that's typically what it is, or they do it. So I'll say she's cleaning the house.
You think cleaning is a gender role, or
what
do you think?
I ain't cleaning shit. Yeah.
That's crazy. So if you come home, hold on. Let's Marcus. If you come home 2 hours before your woman comes home and the trash is still piled up and the dishes still piled up, you're gonna say, "Well, that's her job," even though I came home 2 hours before. Do you think she's gonna be cool being, yeah, you know what? I did 2 jobs. I did another job coming home. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some punani at the end of the night.
No.
Right? They laugh a lot.
I'm taking the trash out. I'm taking the trash out, bro. Like, for me, one thing, if my girl's cleaning the house, I'm not sitting. I'm not sitting on the couch while she's cleaning, bro. I'm helping her out. We doing it. I wouldn't sit my ass on the couch because I'm not doing that shit.
So both people can clean.
When I go out and do, you ought to come out and help me out.
Marcus, it's not a duty that's just only her. And when you say the bills are paid, you pay the bills. You've even said it before. You said, I pay the bills. I'm still waiting for what her duty is. I'm still waiting to hear this. I'm just waiting.
Shit, fucking make my ass happy. That
also doesn't tell me how she makes you happy. What is she? Because women, bro, would you agree with me, Marcus? Would you agree with me that women have to have a duty in a relationship?
Yes, they definitely have a duty. Yeah.
Okay, great.
But is this getting an A on the test? Hold on. Let me ask you. Is this a conversation where we have to get an A on the test? Okay, we just tell like who we.
No. I just want to understand your worldview a little bit better because
my thing is, yeah. For me, I just want to understand your point of view. Yeah, like your worldview.
Okay, hold on. We got chats coming through. Marcy said it's not that we like cleaning, it's that we don't want to live in squalor. Following behind that, Roxy said, Marcus, no, we don't like cleaning the house. We just don't like to live in filth. Like most adults, just so you know, it has to be done.
Yeah, so that's not gender specific. That could be anybody. I'm still, Marcus, I just want to find out what these mysterious duties are that women have according to the way that you see things. Because you could see, what you're doing is you're giving me answers like to make me happy, to make a house a home. These things don't really tell me what a woman's duties are. Like if I was to tell you let's go ahead. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. What are a man's duties in a relationship? Yeah. Let's make it easy.
Let's go with the protect. Have your woman feel like that's it. Pretty much protect. Take care of the house.
Okay, which could also be cleaning, things like this. So protect. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna give you alley.
Hey, we can rattle off a whole bunch of shit that we should do. To be adults,
I've heard one thing. You gotta give me a bunch of shit, but then you give me one thing. That's wild, bro. Yeah. Look. Can I tell you what? Let me give you.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed to give me a bunch of shit, like you were saying.
Hold on, before you do that, for my ladies that are active in the chat tonight, because the chat is full of women. We definitely have 3 that have no problem speaking their mind this evening. Ladies, as a woman in a relationship, take yourself back to the best relationship you were in. Okay? What was the role that you would prefer your man to be in? What role do you ladies prefer your man to hold in the home? And what roles do you prefer to hold as the lady of the house. With that, we do have another chat that just came in that says we cook, clean, take care of kids, suck, fuck, comfort, support, garden, swim, and look pretty. Doing it all.
I think that's a little bit extra. She threw some preferences in there, but I think two of those are in line with what I'm saying, because Marcus, I'm going to give you what my worldview is, because I want to understand your worldview, and I can understand why it's inconsistent and why you don't have a clear train of thought. As far as if I was to ask a man what he wants in life, your answer would be like strawberry, banana, blue sky. Like that's what your answer would be, and that's how I interpret it.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Marcus. A defined. I need it. No, like hold on. So most people roll with shit. They need a defined answer for it. My shit is bro.
Marcus.
I stand behind business. I stand on business. That's what it could go from here to
Marcus.
Here.
Let me ask you quick, Marcus.
And I can guess what? I come into my happiness is not gonna be the same thing that's gonna be happening like in a couple years. It could be a little bit different. But what I know
Marcus,
is
I'm gonna with my girl for you right now.
I just choose to be with. Good.
Let's say I'm a boss. I'm your boss, right? You're at my job.
Yeah.
And I tell you, tell me, well, what are we going to do today? I say, you're going to make the work a happy environment. That's all I tell you. Yeah. And then when you say, I'm going to make the work a happy environment, I say, well, also, not only are you going to make a work a happy environment, but you're going to make sure that you do things that this job requires. And I just leave it at that. Have I ever told you anything? Did I tell you anything about I didn't tell. Right. So do you think that that's a good leader? Like if I tell you, Marcus, do you think that that's a good leadership quality to have, to tell women, I just want a happy home. I just need, to feel supported. That's it.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. This is not questions that I've ever had a girl ask me. It's almost like, what do you bring to the table kind of bullshit.
No, like it's not what you bring to the table.
She knows what I bring. My girl knows what the fuck I bring. She knows me.
People break up because of things like this, because they don't know their role in a relationship.
I don't need to explain every little thing that I fucking do. She knows me. She knows me. She knows how I think, exactly how I roll. Like, she's probably
women can't read minds, Marcus. Women can't read minds, Marcus. I'll give you another.
Again, I don't. This is life, bro. I'm not trying to get an A on the test, Playboy. Like, we go through shit. We're all different. Like, I'm not like a person who has to give you every fucking thing that I need to give you the right answer. I don't need to do that, because again, this is
Marcus,
life.
Do you think women
life
need
is
direction
what it is.
from a
And I don't
leader?
need if you want me to give you the right answer, bro, then cool. I can give that. I can do that.
No, there's.
You want to get the right answer that I've heard in all of the podcasts and all of the shit, I can give it to you. But we're talking real Marcus, here. We're talking real life. Where people are different, and this is exactly what we need to go through. Yeah,
Marcus, exactly. Do you think women need clear leadership in a relationship? Do you think that they need clear instruction sometimes in a relationship?
Yes,
because
they do.
Marcy's going to my point anyways, because they can't read minds. We have to, there has to be some kind of instruction or guidebook as to how you operate, because absent any of this stuff, they don't know you unless you tell them, hey, I like strawberries on my jam every morning. She wouldn't know this. Yeah. We can't assume things.
So we don't have conversations. Me and my relations, we don't have conversations like a book would read. Like you can read a book and you can understand exactly what's going on. Our conversations aren't like that. Our conversations are like real conversations. Hey, you know what? Whatever we talk about, if she understands my actions, she gets it. Ooh, we don't have
everything I'm telling you is a real conversation.
Shit. Like
Marcus, let's say you're in a relationship.
What?
Marcus, let's say you're in a relationship and you wake up one morning and she's not in the mood, and then 75 days later you hear SpongeBob 3 hours later. She's still not in the mood. And she's still not in the mood 3 months later, 4 months later.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? All she knows is I'm not getting none because I'm not in the mood. Now you're in a sexless relationship. These conversations are very important to have. What do you do? Do you ever talk about things like this? This is very important.
Hey, you tell her what's up. You say, hey, you know what? I'm like 55 years old and my libido is down, so maybe I need to go see a doctor. It's not about you. You explain it to her. It's not about you. It might be some shit I got going on right now. You explain. You talk to your girl, bro. You talk. What's up?
Yeah, you talk to her, right?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said this because what you're talking about is giving some kind of instruction. We need to have this to eliminate problems down the line relationship.
You're not going to get a reaction out of me where I need to answer a question test. Like reality is different than, hey,
this isn't a test, Marcus. It's not a test.
No, reality is a little bit different, bro. Like
that word never came out of my mouth, Marcus.
No.
I never asked you to give me the right answer. That never came out of my mouth.
It doesn't have to go out of word. Let's not do that. We don't have. It doesn't have to go out your word. But kind of what you're trying to say is, you asked me a question, and I told you, hey, I want to be happy. What happy entails is a lot of stuff, and that
doesn't say anything, Marcus. Like, if a woman tells you I want to be happy, did she tell you anything?
Like,
do you know exactly what she means when she says I want to be happy?
I can't tell you. Who my girl? That's a blanket. No.
Yeah, I'm saying in a random relationship, a woman tells a guy, "I just want to be happy." Did she really tell him anything? Does he know? Does he have any clear direction as to what her wants are or needs or anything?
That doesn't tell you shit.
Thank you. But
when you ask me, what was a woman's duties, right? You asked me woman's duties. To tell you the truth, I draw a blank at that because I don't fuck different for a lot of shit. I can tell you what her duty is during the day. It changes all the time. I don't know. Like, her duties is 100% to be fucking loyal. That's one. Loyal as fuck. Like, don't ever put me in a situation to where you're gonna put her. That's another one. And those are just other shit. Like, you can name those kind of things, but like when you ask me those kind of questions, like I don't know, man. Like, I'm not good at tests, bro. Like, I don't know.
No, these aren't tests. I'm just trying to understand how you look at relationships from a leader perspective, because everything that you're telling me is the minimum requirement for a relationship. And you're trying to say, well, these are great things. Well, I'm like, that's just a minimum, is for her to feel safe and her to be loyal and things like this. These don't really tell me what a duty is. Let me tell you what a duty is to me from a woman's point of view. What I expect from women in a relationship. Okay. If I was in a relationship and she was young enough to have kids of mine, let's say I didn't have kids or anything, that would be one duty, is to be the nurturer of kids and to give birth to the next generation. That's one thing, right? Another duty that she would have is sex, to be honest with you, because in a relationship, if I'm tied down with a woman, where else would I get sex from if I don't get it from anywhere else? It's considered cheating. She's the only source of sex I would get if I'm in a monogamous relationship. That's why I think that sex should be a duty, because people don't want to be in sexless relationships. They outsource and go to porn and find other avenues, because we're human. We're fallible. We're full of weakness, things like this. That's why I always say it's a duty. So these two things are extremely important in relationships, because that's the reason why I led you down to the path of saying you wake up one day and it's a sexless relationship. That means that there's no clear direction. She doesn't know anything. All she heard was, I just want a happy home. She could say, well, he must like food. That's what that means. And then every woman is going to take happy home and interpret it in any kind of way to her and say, well, this could be this, A, B, C, blueberry sky, cheesecake, whatever. So I haven't told her anything if I just want a happy home. So whenever I talk about these duties, I would say, there's not roles that you're assigned to, like you have to have a job or anything like that. The job is optional, but I don't want a career to be your whole identity, because that's also going to put you in competition with me too. I think that you could be a RN, that's great, but I don't want this to have to compete with your job at the same time too, because we have these duties. I can make more money than my wife if I'm married, but I also don't want to stop protecting while I'm making more money. So we can have jobs, but these duties don't stop regardless of if the sun don't shine or not. And this is done because we give clear instruction as far as our expectation from the wives that we have. Absent any clear instruction, you go to a job and they say, just make the workplace happy. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do as an employee. That's why they have instruction manuals on the wall, things like this. They're not going to give you a test. Like you said, I keep giving you tests. They're not going to give you a test, but you have a clear direction when you go to a job as to what your duties are, what you need to perform to make your boss happy. And if I think there's a hierarchical role and a woman's looking up to you, you're not exactly her boss, but she's looking at you as the big man boss. If shit hits the fan, the ship is sinking, you have to play this role. And that's why this is why I harp on this. We got to find out what duties are in a relationship and magnify this. And right now, your worldview's gotten getting exposed right now because this is why we're seeing inconsistencies, because I don't think you really have a clear foundation as far as like
cool
what
it,
these duties are.
No, because you know, I'm definitely not the person who understands that everything's the same all the time. It's exactly how it is. No, shit changes all the time, bro. Like for me, you have to go through life. You go through life and you figure out, as long as you have your morals and you stand by certain shit, and you maneuver through life. Shit, it is what it is. So like for me, like I have my boundaries and I have my fucking morals. That's all. So for me and my girl, she understands. Like she knows I stand behind shit. Like she understands. Like I don't give a I don't give a fuck. She knows that if there's something that's not right, I will not cater. I will not bend, and I won't do shit. Like I don't care. Like I stand behind what I also understand how women work. I understand like, hey, part of the person I'm gonna deal with is not the one who wants me to lead everything. Because when it's a lot, like when someone, like a lot of people say, I want you to lead, they think about fucking everything. Like, what do you want? What do you want this? What do you want to do this? That's not it. But when it comes to some fucking big shit, yeah, we need to talk about it. We need to go with it. But hey, we can conversate about anything else. Like you and I can have this conversation. We can talk. I can understand how you feel. You understand how I feel about it. Let's just conversate. Let's talk about it. You know, like I've seen relationships where it's just one
Marcus,
way, and for me, bro, it's
the wall that you're going to keep hitting, and I'm just going to point this out. I hear a lot of feel, felt, found rhetoric, and I think that when you lead a relationship off of feelings, because you're saying, well, we take it as we go, we see what's going to happen. I feel like we have a ship that doesn't really have a clear direction to it. It's just like, well, I feel like we're going to steer this way because the weather's this way, this and that, but you don't really have a clear. I think that what you try to do is adaptation. Things get hard, you try to adapt to it, which is fair. I get that. But I think that we should have a firm, consistent foundation. If you don't have that in a relationship, all you're going to have is conditional. And all I've heard from you is preferences. That's it. And preferences change all the time. This is why we have relationships that are highs and lows all the time.
Did you hear what I said? I have morals and I have boundaries. I have something I will never waver from.
Boundaries change all the time if you have nothing but a surrounding of conditional preferences. That's it. My boundaries.
So if one of my boundaries is you fucking never hit me, that's a boundary. Guess what? That won't ever happen.
Well, these are minimum.
My boundaries if you yell at me in front of people,
these are the minimum requirements, bro. These are the minimum.
If you're saying that I waver,
these are boundaries.
If you're saying I waver, then
can you tell me who doesn't have these boundaries, Marcus?
Everyone does.
Who doesn't have the boundary of don't hit me?
Everyone should, right?
Can you tell me something that's specific to your relationship that you say, well, this is the direction?
Wishy-washy.
Don't disrespect my family. Don't disrespect people in front of me. Anyone I know, I don't know, a friend or not, you better not respect them. Let me handle that shit.
Yeah, but this is a universal. This doesn't apply to relationships.
No. I've seen a lot of motherfuckers waver over friends. And if I got real friends,
let me go ahead and see that pretty boy and see how he feels about that. I guarantee you it's going to be consistent with John's reaction. I guarantee you this. This is mostly universal. If you're talking about men that aren't going to react, like, there's a few. You're talking about exceptions to the rule. What I'm talking about is like we as men, look, Marcus, we have to have a firm, fair, and consistent direction that we're giving. If we have a wife and we say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this and that, these are the duties that I expect, and we have to have expectations. Like the job is a good comparison to this. If you go to an employer, you're going to have a level of expectation to any employer. If a woman's underneath you, which is a hierarchy, right? It doesn't mean you're better than her. It just means like she's listening to some kind of instruction. She's going to look for leadership. And in leadership, she's not going to want to hear broad, I just want to be happy. She wants to hear, okay, cool. Give me some direction. If she really loves you, she's going to want to hear some direction. All right. Tell me what to do, Big Daddy. You heard this, right? In the bedroom, we even do this, right? This happens outside the bedroom too, bro. Like women love it when you make their life easier by giving them instruction, bro.
Okay, realistically, that shit does not happen on day one, bro. You got to build it up. She got to understand who she's dealing with. Like she will do that on day one if you tell her, "Hey, this is a conversation." Well, because here's the Marcus.
Martea, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. See, this is where, if anybody goes back and watch all of my podcasts from the very beginning, this is where I say on first date, that's where as men and as women, we're fucking up. Because you should actually be putting that in place.
Yes.
Day one.
It
should not be something, see, allowing bad habits to creep into a relationship because you didn't speak on it and set up actual boundaries is probably one of the number one reasons that relationships fail. If you cannot come in and set a standard, okay? If you played sports, your coach told you what they expect, what you are allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. When you went for your job interview, they said expectations, what you can do, what you're not allowed to do. When you went to school, they said in class, this is what you expect, this is what you can't do, this is what you can do.
So you never play a sport where someone said, you never played a sport where someone said, I'm a badass.
That are put in place, but when it comes to relationships, it seems that we live in a world where all of a sudden we can't speak on boundaries and allowances, or when the boundaries are put in place, the boundaries get to be put in place by the woman, not the man.
Courtney, I'm going to address Courtney real quick.
But again, hold on. Let me say this and I'll let go. But so like when you were saying like sports and jobs and all that stuff, like you never play sports with someone like, man, I'll fuck all these motherfuckers up, and he's a goddamn pin cushion. Like you got to prove what the fuck you saying. Like talking.
What does the coach do?
The coach will take a nigga like me, and they're gonna line him up because they know that I'm gonna line him out.
Yeah. So that old talking shit, don't mean nothing. You got to prove it. That old talking don't mean shit. You can tell me what the fuck
your words have to line up with your actions. So you can't have empty words. Words are important. Words mean things. If you set guidelines, you also have to back it up with action. The two have to be married. You can't have action without words, and you can't have words without action. They have to be married. Because if you're not a man of your word, what happens in the hood?
You can't have action. You can't have actions without words.
Yeah, you can have action. There's nonverbal communication.
I'm telling you, the most people I ever respect don't say a lot of shit. There's a lot of people I respect the most who don't say a lot of shit. They just cool.
We're not talking about reaction. We're talking about actions.
You see their actions, bro. Like I people the most. These motherfuckers who bark. Yeah. The people who bark a lot though, I don't really respect talk a lot. Like if you show me some shit, I got you. 100%.
Courtney, so I'll give you a demonstration of how that's true.
Off all the shit I'm gonna do and all this other stuff. Say what?
Courtney, I'll give you a demonstration, and right now, and actually, John can go ahead and attest to this, and Courtney, pretty boy, can attest this right now. If actions don't really mean anything, why are we, on a podcast right now, and your worldview's getting exposed for not having a standard that's not conditional right now?
No, you gotta be backwards, Playboy. You got me backwards, Playboy.
I'm letting you know right now, but somehow I don't have any action. This is all words. I'm exposing this right now. This is an example right now that we're showing in real time.
We're not.
But hold on, I need to have the action for us to actually have anything happening, right? How come it's just words, but there's exposure happening?
So everything that you do applies to everything, bro. Like everything. I never
said everything. That word never came out of my mouth, bro. Right? I never said everything.
Well, you don't have to. Just what you just said.
No,
you just said we're on a podcast where we're talking. We're talking right now. Okay? So this is a talking podcast. This is not a fucking relationship.
Let me break it. Let me bring it back.
So Courtney, I forgot my train of thought. Forgot my train of thought.
I think Courtney's.
Hey, this kind of went off the rails a little bit. I like it though. This is good.
All right, so here's the best way to really break that down. We are
Pretty boy freeze up.
His system. He's coming back right now.
We all got that team.
Yeah, my bad.
All right, go ahead.
So yeah, what I was saying was, so bringing it back to have on the first day, what John was saying, right? When you having a conversation, your actions are gonna have to align with your words at the end of the day. When you walk through the door, you're already gonna command the room. She's gonna see that. A lot of women can see that if you command the room, if you're confident, if you're not confident. So when you guys are having a conversation, when you're talking about your standards, when you talk about your deal breakers and things like that, those things have to align with each other. So yeah, you can say you're right. And your point, Marcus, yeah, you can say a lot of shit, but then if your actions aren't aligned with it, then it's like, oh, you just full of shit. However,
full of shit.
She wouldn't know, but on top of that, it can go the same way the other way. If you're not saying anything, how would she know what your standards are if you aren't saying anything? So you both have to align. You have to be able to speak your mind, say what, look, I'm not, these are my standards, this is what it is, and you also have to stand on it and move in that way. And everything has to be aligned throughout the entire way. So that's what they're saying.
So Courtney, you're right about that. I agree with you 100%. Courtney has just what he said is taken what I've said and made it very concise and simple. Courtney, I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you think in society asking somebody what their favorite color on the first date and what music they listen to is as important as, hey, do you like polyamorous relationships? Is this what your moral compass is? Do you think that people should hide cell phones from each other, this and that? Or do you also think that, hey, this is my family value? I think that mentorly relationship, things like this are more important than asking for favorite colors, your favorite animal, what music you listen to. Which do you think would be more important to ask on a first date, Courtney?
Yeah, I ask more values. Where did you grow up from? Did you grow up with the father in the household? What's your relationship with your family? I ask morals and like, what's important to you? What are your plans in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you want to be in a relationship? What are your boundaries? What are your moral values? What are the things that keeps you pushing throughout the day? What do you seek for as validation and happiness in life? Those are the things that I ask when I'm in a relationship. And then no, it doesn't take a dinner date. All it takes is a coffee date to do that. But that's how I rock out.
Well, I would say
sit down at the Pizark on
the park. Yeah,
and you can line it up as this is the way this relationship is gonna move if you're dealing with me.
Yes,
I need you to lay out your boundaries, good and bad, because I'm gonna lay out my boundaries, good and bad. Now, some of the things that I may see and say may actually be a little triggering. Right. But I would prefer to figure out if these things are actual triggers for you, as opposed to go through a relationship or start to try to relationship build only to find out that you're really not on board with the things that would make this blossom into marriage and long term. I think anybody looking to get into an actual relationship should be having that conversation, as opposed to the what's your favorite color, where do you like to vacation, what do you do in your free time, the dumb shit that people talk about that unfortunately do not create a foundation for an actual relationship. Because when you're trying to create an actual relationship and a foundation for a relationship, that's really what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be having conversations that actually put your relationship in a winning scenario, a winning,
and also you
in a good position.
Yeah, and also you have to understand that they have to know that you are a man of purpose. You are purposeful. So you're not, when you're talking to someone, when you're having this conversation, you have to be purposeful. Like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is why we're having this conversation. And if you decide that you want to be in my life, if I'm going to bring you into my life, you also have to understand that you are going to be under my covering. I'm not under your covering because it's God, man, woman, child. That's how it is.
Which
There's
I'm
no
gonna
other way around.
repost up Marcy's because she said if you set the standard, and that's where I will say, even as a man,
Yeah.
ladies, do you prefer your man to set the standard of the relationship? Go ahead and put it in the chat. All you got to do is say yes. Do you prefer your man to set the actual standard in said relationship? Marcy already said going into the date with good questions is so important. Not only does it show interest, but it shows intent.
Exactly. So the questions about like favorite color, all this other stuff, like that's not going anywhere. You're going to eventually find this out. Plus, also, you're eliminating a lot of mystery that you don't want to eliminate. You're going to find out the favorite color during an experience, or that she loves purple rain or something like that on a trip. Why would you want to ruin the movie? I think one thing that John's hinting on is that we need to find out how the relationship's going to go, and you need to tell her this is what you're getting into. Before I sell a car to somebody or anything like this, or I apply for a job, I'm going to want to know what I'm getting into. Please tell me what I'm getting into. I don't want to be cracked with a whip across my back. As long as that's not on the job, okay, cool. So this is a vetting process that we're not doing anymore because people are afraid, oh, you know what, she's going to run off because she thinks I'm too red pill or I'm too Christ pill or too harsh, things like this. I think men have their tail between their legs when it comes to this because I'm going to be honest with you, 80% of men are out of the dating pool to some degree because modern dating sites, you're basically on their turf. And I hate to say it, but women are damn near running these sites. We just happen to be a guest in their arena. Now, I agree that if you're on these dating sites and you happen to be the 5%, all this other stuff, like you don't have to worry about that because we could say I don't have problems. Marcus doesn't have problems. John doesn't have problems on dating sites. But a lot of this gets exposed during the initial time when you're going ahead and talking to somebody. You're going to say stupid things like, hey, it's not stupid, but you get my drift. Hi, how you doing? Are you from Phoenix, this and that? And then you're going to want to set up the date. And then when you get to this date, you're going to want to go ahead and weed people out of this voting process or employment process because this is literally an application for them to be your girlfriend. If they're coming in, you can't be afraid to run people off by asking the harsh questions, and people get pussy whipped automatically on the first date because I see the tip. I'll ask about it later because I don't want to lose. Like you get buyer's or like loser's remorse when you're on a date, and we shouldn't function like this. The last thing you want to function is the mentality of loss going into a date. You should just say, well, if this is what's going to make her lose her on the first date, that's what's going to make you lose her on second month. If you ask these harsh questions, and I think it's very good for us to ask these harsh questions, like how you spend money, things like this, even things like which may be asinine to people like, oh, my credit score just happens to be like 730, things like this, creating conversations like this. It's extremely important how you clean your house, things like this. And here's the thing that people don't really think about. You're not just walking a woman to her car. You're walking to her car to see how she takes care of the inside of her car, because chances are, if her car looks fucked up on the inside, her bedroom and her pillow sheets probably look like tea bags. So I'm just letting you know right now, you find out so much when we fulfill these roles that we have protecting women to her car. Just be mindful of things that we do. It's not being harsh. You're eliminating what you don't want in your life on the first date. We shouldn't think, oh, I'm just going to run her off on this. If it's going to make a run off on the first date, all you're doing is just retaining a loss that's going to happen.
Yeah. And that's where, as men, I say quite honestly, you gotta be willing to let the pussy hit the curb. Okay, leave it at the curb. You don't need to fuck everybody. You may want to, but you don't need to. Key point: yes, going to see a woman's car is very telling. Is very telling. If her car is just filthy, point blank period, one or two things. She's a dirty motherfucker herself, and there ain't nothing she's taking care of.
I think that's about it.
Yep.
So I used to bounce in clubs in Scottsdale, right? And when the lights got to come on at some point, Reality's gonna hit you at some point, and we all know when the lights come on, you find out maybe you're dancing with a man or not, or you find out a rude awakening. One of the worst things I knew, and I always conflated this with women. Sometimes the club comes on, and we have women that their feet hurt. These women's feet hurt. They get to clubs, and then you see the bottom of their feet are black, and I'm just like, that probably stinks. Really bad. I always thought about that. I don't know. I'm the only one in this.
Dressed to the nines.
I'm just like, this is crazy.
To kick her feet off, kick her shoes off at the end of the night on the dirtiest floor.
Dirty.
I beg your pardon.
And you decide to just walk around like, hey, and you're okay with that.
Yo, Nana smell like garbage truck juice, probably. This is crazy.
You have an issue. There is an issue there. She does not take bacteria as a problem.
That's wild.
He wallows in the bacteria.
Yeah, you'll take it out of here.
No, you
taking it back to the crib.
He's not even leaving. Here's the thing. Here's the funny
bro.
part.
Go take a bath and bleach. Just go take bleach baths. You'll be all right, bro.
See, that's the kind of female that is taking a bath in the canal. I can't do it.
You just Marcus, bro. This is wild, bro. This is very telling, man.
What I say?
wouldn't say that, bro.
What?
Just take her back to the crib.
I said you take her back to the crib, not me.
The steak puss. We just gonna take it back to the crib. Man, tell me you don't
No,
eat
no,
all the
no. I
leftovers.
said you taking it back to the crib.
Leftovers. It's somebody else's unseasoned food white picnic.
Yeah, he said John would take it back to the crib.
This is wild, man. That's correct, man. Marcus, you gonna be the one to take one for the team? The big one out the group? That's you? This is you. Didn't know who to win.
Is this shit
Marcus
open?
just
You hear what I'm saying?
All
God damn.
right.
Hey, come on, man. Hey,
We
bro.
spent over an hour and a half. That's just the first fucking question. The first question, topic of the night. So, Martea actually has some questions, some topics of his own. Throw out one of your topics, Martea.
Give me 1 second. Give me 2 seconds real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Dog, did you hear? I know y'all heard about that Cardi B and Offset situation.
Yes.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, with the kid, with the hair?
With the kid.
With the hair?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Come on, bro.
But you know who did that, right?
She did it.
And she did it being petty. Now, there are two very serious situations going on right now with baby mamas and kids. And one is going to be Cardi B and Offset, and the other one's going to be Halle Bailey and DDG. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
One situation is very clear of one baby mama being very much so controlling and trying to create a narrative that has blew up in her face because DDG actually just won that situation. And then you have Cardi B trying to create, well, she calls herself trying to create a narrative and doing things as well. But the whole world sees exactly how petty she is in this situation. And you are playing with fire because you are playing with a man's son with another man.
That you only been messing around with for 2 months.
2 months. Which makes it very clear she's not over Offset.
Exactly.
Martea, hit us with one of your
hey,
topics.
well, he's stupid for even fucking doing it.
I mean, it's very common. Look at Remy Ma and Papoose. We see this often. We talk about a pattern here. We can see patterns in the industry everywhere else. You're talking about what's his name that got stabbed 17 times in prison. He shouldn't even be there. This is Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez shouldn't even be there, man. They should just release my boy. Like that it doesn't make sense. So you have to understand, this goes back to Marcus, the vetting process. If you know what you're dealing with, you don't have to be in Tory Lane's position. You don't have to be in Offset's position or Papoose position, anything like this. We can these are easily avoidable. You can avoid these positions.
I would never be in that position.
You say that right now, but you have a changing conditional standard. What are we talking about here, bro? Like,
you just don't know me. You don't know me, man. You just don't know me. No way I'll never do that shit.
So when I asked you questions, you gave me the most broadest answers, and then you say you don't know me. You're right. I don't know you.
And again, I'm not going to give you a fake. I'm not going to give you a fake. I can't give you a fake answer for something that I'm not really in right now. So like, it's hard for me to answer those kind of questions, bro. Like for me, it's kind of hard. What is a woman should do?
Hold on. Do I have to do the thing to understand the thing? Like, do I have to be a janitor to understand what he does? Could I imagine what that is?
So for me is, I have standards. I am 100% the man in a relationship.
You're gonna take her home at the end of the night, regardless. Like you just said before. What kind of status we talking about?
I know what I like, and I'm gonna tell you the most important person in the relationship is me. I'm gonna tell you that 110%. Because if I have to be functional for that relationship to work. So I know how I can function, and if it throws it off at all, that shit ain't gonna work. So
Marcus, so it's just me to me.
Wait. Because
this is crazy.
I'm listening to this entire conversation too intently. So based off of what you're saying is you have to be okay in the relationship, but at the exact same time, you are the one who dictates the relationship, but you don't want to have the leadership role. Like, think about what the fuck you're saying. No. That
very confusing.
No.
Contradiction.
That is exactly what you are saying. What
you're a performative contradiction.
You are the staple in the relationship, so you have to be the one that is okay, but you don't have to be the one to lead it. Please make that make sense.
When the fuck did I say I didn't lead the relationship? When in the hell did I say that? I want to know, bro. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, you listen. I'm not gonna say it, but
Marcus,
he's
basically saying that
you plug certain things. You don't listen to everything. Y'all don't listen to everything. I've never said she needs to lead the relationship, bro. God damn.
I'm hearing the same thing John's hearing.
I know. Y'all both on the same wavelength, bro. Hey, let me guess. You believe in polygamous relationship too, right?
No, I don't believe in polygamous relationship.
No poligs. Okay, but y'all
might, but y'all on the same wavelength. We don't have to believe in the same thing to hear the same thing.
I never said that. I never said that she had to run. I don't run the relationship. I never said that. I never said in a relationship I'm going to be in. I'm like, men are just naturally like, we don't show if you're in the right mindset as a man, emotion doesn't even pay. It's not even there, bro. You make logical decisions. You do logical things if you're in the right mindset as a man. So it's a logical situation that I get into. I understand how most women work. At least the women that I date, I understand how they work, right? May not be the ones that you date, but the ones that I date, I understand how they work, right?
So Courtney, let me figure this out, Courtney. So what I've heard from you was you said, I feel in a relationship we should do this. You open up with feel, felt, found. Then you want to talk about logic right now after you talk about feelings for a whole hour. This is wild, bro. This is crazy. This is the. I
know how it works. I think I said I know how it works versus I said
how very conditional of you to go ahead and point out logic at the end of all this emotion that we talked about, bro.
Okay, what I say I feel, bro. I mean, hey, tell me what I say I feel.
You said you made the statement of saying I feel, and you said also happy home. Happy is a feeling, but it doesn't tell me anything. So when you're leading under the guise of just feelings and not giving me anything specific, like when I asked you what a duty was, I practically gave up on this because I didn't hear anything.
That's all you got.
This is all feelings, bro. This is all feelings you've been telling me.
That's all you got.
We'll go off.
What I said is I feel I want to have it. That's all you got. Out of all the shit I was saying, bro.
All right, packages from Amazon outside the door. How it's gonna make you feel?
I said what?
So right. I would be mad if she did this. You even said that. I would be mad if I saw 50.
I'm gonna be mad that these packages are out there. Those are your exact words.
Okay. That's not.
And then you switch up and say, "It needs to be logical because men are logical." At the end of all this, this is crazy.
Okay. I don't know, man. I got you, player. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but you're plugging a whole bunch of shit It's
Marcus,
almost like
I
you
don't
got
think
8
you really
elbows
know what
in
you
you.
said right now.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm saying.
Marcus, I'm fine with not knowing, with the fact that you don't know what a woman's duties are or even a man's duties. That's fine. We can move past that. The next question I do want to ask. Hey, John, is it okay if I move on to the next question?
Yeah, let's go to the next question.
Okay. So I want to ask a question because I do want to ask Courtney questions, but this is more leaning towards you because now I'm intrigued at this point. Because you said previously you lived a life as a simp, would you say that you're a reformed simp or you are still a simp?
Definitely reform simp.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and test that logic right now. So I'm going to ask you a real quick question. If you had two options, would you want to be with a 47-year-old beautiful woman with 3 kids or a hot woman that's been on OnlyFans, slightly ran through, or it would be slightly, but a woman who's a sex worker at 21 who also engages with content creators, had to have sex on her platform at 21 years old, and she's really hot. Which one would you pick?
Neither one.
No, you have to pick 2. There's this hypothetical gun to your head. You got to pick one.
I don't have to pick shit, but that's the one. I would not pick neither one. Like none of those would make your boy happy.
So you're going to pick the white knight approach. You're going to say,
no, I'm going to tell you the fucking real answer, bro. Like none of those. I don't play the games of, hey, choose one to die. Like, I'm not going to die, motherfucker. Like,
well, this is a hypothetical. I'm saying this because, Marcus, I'm asking you this question to test your logic. I'm asking you a question to test your logic.
The logic should tell you I'm not choosing neither one of them, bro.
You in this hypothetical imaginary world, you have to pick one.
Okay, I don't live in. Okay, I don't have to pick shit. So I'm not gonna pick neither one of them. They're all bad. I'm not gonna pick none of them.
Fair enough. I mean, if you don't want your logic tested to have everything else exposed, that's fine. I would have probably done the same thing. I would probably not engage too.
Okay, which one should I pick? Let me go. The 21-year-old.
If I don't want to be exposed, I wouldn't answer this too.
Let's go with this. 21-year-old bitch who's fucking everybody else. I'm going with that one then. There you go.
Woo! Okay.
A man came to a man and said, "Yo, bro, I ain't choosing none." You like, I don't play those little games. You're trying to.
Well, because I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand where your morality lies. I'm trying to understand what your, because you talked about standards and morality, right?
But most people understand logic.
This is what I'm getting to. I'm trying to find out what your standards and morality are in relationships.
Option is none. Anyone who knows logic, there's an option of none. I'm not going to do it. But for you, it's like you got to choose one. No, bro.
Logically, there's an answer. There's lesser or more.
Hold on. Both of you. Okay. For the sake of the show,
okay,
we've done this before. Okay. We did it with the Diddy party. Yeah. And all of us answered the question.
But that was a different question.
No, it's not a different. Yeah, it's a different question, but it's the same outcome. Again, we do this podcast to educate other people. How can there ever be education for other people if we aren't even willing to answer the questions and give our answers so that other people can learn from the things that we're about to put out there?
Okay, John, you answer the question then.
Give me the 2 options.
There's 3 of them, I think. But go ahead.
No, there's 2. Hey.
Oh man, this is wild. This is crazy.
Martea, give it to him.
Either the 47-year-old with the kids or the 21-year-old OnlyFans chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what logic is going to tell me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Logic says you're 47. You have children that are not mine. Okay. You're already stuck in your ways. You obviously have bad habits. 21 years old. You've just made stupid decisions. You've been ran through. At the end of the day, which one would be the better choice? Obviously, neither one of us is a better choice, but one evil is greater than the other. And the greater of the two evils is going to be the one that hasn't been fucking ran through. But understand that mentally, you're going to be in a fucked up relationship. So the single mom is always going to be the better choice than the 21-year-old ran through chick that is going to fuck up your entire legacy.
So neither one.
No, I just said the single mom.
John, you need to have the facepalm emoji or something like that. Like, please, I'll petition for the facepalm emoji right now. Bring this in the chat. Somebody facepalm emoji to chat right now.
Courtney,
Don't give me, bro.
pretty boy, which one are you going with?
Wow.
Well, considering the fact that we just going based off the hypothetical in itself, I'm not choosing the OnlyFans girl. I'm not. Because I mean, because just based off of the hypothetical, I'm already assuming on the hypothetical the 3 kids are by one man. So
yeah, three kids by one man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm choosing the 47-year-old out the gate.
She ain't been running the streets. Her kids are by an abandoned father. He abandoned them and just left them. She's been faithful, been displaying faithful, loyal qualities, this and that. The OnlyFans model, she's faithful, but to her industry, her identity is tied to her industry. She looks at sex from a different purview as like monetary gain. So how can sex be valuable to you when it's just a commodity to her? That's what I'm getting to. When we talk about morals and values, what you're talking about, which you avoided from answering, Marcus, is this is going to go ahead and expose your worldview. So I could see this now. Granted, there's not a right or wrong answer to this because you don't have to be right or wrong for choosing lifestyle. I'm not going to demonize you for it. I'm just going to better understand where you come from and how you understand things. And if this is an unchanging standard or not. But according to you, it's like feel, felt, found. I just don't feel like answering this. So actually, you are being very consistent with being conditional. That's all that's been telling me right now.
Where we ended off on the show kind of like this last week. And I'm just going, Marcus, I'm going to throw your own words in it. Now you're acting like a bitch. You're acting like a female. Okay. We having these conversations and you're choosing to do what most females would do, which is I'm not answering that question. I can't answer that.
Come on, man. I told you neither. I didn't say I wasn't going to answer, bro. I told you
have some courage. Have some cojones or whatever they call it.
Are you motherfucking listening? Is this shit on, bro? Is this on? I told you.
It's on. That's why
that's an answer, man. That's a goddamn answer. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
That's deflection. Women do this all the time. They'll deflect, they'll avoid, and they'll live in a constant place that's devoid of reality. When I give you a hypothetical, you say, no, I'm just going to create my own land and escape to it. That's escapism, bro.
Okay. All right, hey, man. I'm going to let
women
y'all
do this all the time. I'm not telling you that you're a woman, but I'm just saying women do this all the time.
You're right, Playboy. I'm deflected. You know, I told you fucking neither. But no, I'm deflected.
But the thing about it is we didn't give the option of neither. I mean, I just had this exact same conversation like a month ago.
Logic test.
I really literally just had this exact same hypothetical.
He said logic. And the logic for me was saying no.
And she played the same game of I'm not going to answer the question. Like,
bro, I answered the question. I said fucking neither. None. I said none. Like,
that's not an answer. That's
her. The exact same thing is you have to choose one or the other. She says neither. I'm not going to give you what you want. You're not giving me what I want. You're answering the question.
John, can I ask you a question, John?
Ask away.
John, let's say you get to a job and there's an answer on the question and there's only one question on the test. An employer gives it to you. He says, hey, have you been employed by this company before? And you say, you know what? I'm not going to push yes or no, even though there's only 2 options. And you say, nope, I'm not going to answer that. The next question underneath that is like, have you been having a felony before, this and that? It's yes or no. Did it happen or didn't happen? They could actually be both answers because somebody in the streets having a felony could be a bad mark on somebody. Having a felony could also be a good mark to somebody because I'm the king of the streets. If I deflect from doing any of this stuff, do you think I would get this job?
All right, let's use your logic, Martea. Answer this one. You got to answer it. Would you rather suck dick?
You haven't even answered my question. We're still waiting on you for yours. How are you going to
I'm asking you.
You can't even answer mine.
Would you rather suck dick? Would you rather suck dick or take an ass? Which one? Hey, you got to answer, bro. Come on. Which one? You gotta answer, man. You got to.
This is. Can you answer my question before asking me a question?
You got to
Why?
answer,
How
man.
do we end
Marcus,
up?
can you answer my question before asking me a
You're
question?
avoiding it right now. You're avoiding it, player. God damn. You're avoiding it, man.
You're avoiding my question. What are you talking about, bro?
Oh, man.
Jesus. God. You're avoiding my
You
God,
asking
man.
me a question is prime deflection, bro. This is cope.
That's what you
Mad
went
cope.
to.
Hey, that's
You
different.
went to,
Come on,
you,
man. That's
you went
different
to
shit,
Rainbow
man.
Land. You
Fuck
took it
outta
to
here.
Rainbow Land. You took it to
Hey,
Rainbow Land.
where's my gunshots at? God damn it. Y'all fucking me up, man.
Yeah, you shooting duds, bro. Ain't nothing. There's nothing,
You
man.
you came with a
Give me some
question.
milk.
Yeah, that's highly. Yeah, man. Diabetes in the chat for all this sugar that I'm hearing right now. This is crazy.
He needs some milk.
Now it's babies in here.
Diabetes in the chat.
Now some babies in here.
Super sweet questions right now. This is wild,
Yeah.
man. Rainbow Skittles questions, bro. This is crazy.
You know, kids in the chat.
Oh my god. Marcus,
Hey, I got you though.
if you need to come
Got
out
you,
the
Playboy.
closet,
Marcus
Now you
is
get it.
crazy, man.
no,
He ain't answer,
Like,
though.
tell me,
He ain't
Marcus,
answer.
you're not DL, are you? You're not DL, right?
You're avoiding the
You're
question.
not on the D. You're not
You're
from
avoiding the
Atlanta,
question.
Georgia, are you?
I'm from Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi.
You
Player.
can't. We still stuck on your question. You can't even answer my original question
What?
of would you be with a woman with 3 kids or a sex worker at
I
21
told
that's been
you
ran through?
neither. I
That's
told you
not answering the
neither.
question. You still. I'm through. Let's move on to the next
All right.
question because this.
Okay. There you go.
Let's move on, bro.
shit, why
Hey,
this
the thing
nigga
is,
went-
the thing is,
This
the thing
nigga
is,
went
I
straight
know,
to
I
Mile
know
with a pony.
you see, I know you see,
Rainbow Bright.
I know you see it, I know you see it, but you ain't gonna admit it. I know you see the like the similarities. I know you see it, but you're not gonna admit it. Stick on to it, Playboy. Let's move on to the next one.
Wait, hold on. You give some obscure statement like I see it, this and that. You haven't said
I
anything
know.
even with that.
You ain't a stupid person. I get it. I know you see I know that example I just sent you. I told you. I know you see the same thing you told me. I know you see it.
Marcus, why
It's
you
not
want me to
gonna
look
admit
at
it,
a
though.
homosexual question for? Why are you leaning to this direction?
Oh, you want me to look at 2 holes, bro? Come on, man. What's the fucking difference?
You
I'm
want
gonna
to look
spend the
at
rest
some
of my life
rainbow
with it?
questions right
I'm gonna
now.
spend the
Why
rest of my
are you
life
so
with it?
bad on
Come on,
Hartman
man.
for me to answer a rainbow question?
But no. So like
What do
most
you
people get
get out
analogies.
of this? I'm curious.
Analogies are not supposed to be the same. If they're the same, then we wouldn't even need an analogy, bro.
Analogies
So,
can be
all
the
right,
same, believe it or not.
it
That's
doesn't
false.
be the same, but it's
Analogies can be the
same shit.
same. Analogies can be the
Analogies
same.
can't be the same, bro. Analogy
Okay,
can't be the
okay.
same.
So hold on.
But you get the first time. You get the first
That's
time.
the fallacy.
Put this on an actual playing field. You're asking a question that is based off of sexuality versus a question that is based off of logic. Okay, there's no same playing field there. One is literally based off of
What up?
versus a logical question. That's like comparing a physicist to a
And the
fucking
logic question for him to be, the answer would be neither, none. I wouldn't suck a dick or I wouldn't get an asshole because I'm not gay. Cool. You know what? I'm not gonna fuck with a baby mama, and I'm not gonna fuck with some OnlyFans bitch because I'm better than that. Cool. Logic. Come on. Hey, where my guns at, man? Jesus, come on, man. Light your boy up.
Marcus, I don't even think you know what you're doing right now.
Light him up. God damn it.
God, Marcus,
Come on.
you lost everybody. You lost everybody
beg your
5 minutes ago. Dead, right, dead. Talk line. You just killed yourself with that question. This is crazy. I wanted to uncover your belief system and expose. You're doing this for me. This is crazy. That's not the exposure I wanted, but it's the exposure everybody's getting.
Hey, I'm cool with it, man.
You cool with it too? Wow.
I'm cool with my shit.
All right, man. You go. Hey, you know what? You could. Your sexuality is up to you. I won't judge you for this. This is all up to you.
What did my sexuality come into this? Jesus,
We're not gonna have this
about?
conversation. I already got kicked off of TikTok for having a similar type of question.
This is crazy.
We
Yeah,
not
let's
gonna
move on,
get
John.
any-
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're not gonna get banned off of any other.
Yeah, let's move on.
Woo, shit.
Yes,
That's
sir.
crazy,
Yes, sir.
man.
Martea, you're the guest tonight. I'll let you
What
throw
happened?
another one out there.
So Marcus, I just want to ask you a question. When you talk about morals, we need to just go to this real quick because I'm gonna take it away from morals, but I don't want to harp on it too long because this can get boring sometimes. When you talk about morals and standards, what are you talking about? What are your morals and standards you're talking about?
Just do the fucking right thing, bro. Like I live by anything that's right. The right thing to do is my morals. So if I would say for
That doesn't
morals,
say anything.
if someone,
Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead. My bad. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
My morals would be, no, you're good. But like, just say let's go with race. Let's go with morals race. It's okay for a black person to do this and a white person can't. In certain kind of situations. So like, if it's like, hey, this dude just killed someone, and it's okay because I'm gonna make this certain kind of like argument that there was a bullet situation. But if it was your mother, the same situation happened, then you'd be crazy about it. Or just, hey, you know what? Just say, hey man, I see you trying to jump over that gate, playboy, and the cop pulls you over. Oh, you pull me because I'm black. Cool, man. All right, hey, but if it's your house, you're like, get that motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't telling nobody. I just got morals, like what's right and what's wrong. Like, that's just my morals. It doesn't matter. There's no color. There's no sex. There's nothing. Right morals.
And you said there's no sex, no nothing, but you said race,
no,
and then you went on to like jump the fence.
What? Say what?
Yeah, this is like a jumbled version of an answer, which doesn't. I didn't even hear an answer the whole time you were talking. Believe it or not, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you have to do the right thing. My morals are I follow by doing the right thing.
So preferences are the right thing. Your morals would be a preference, right?
I don't know.
Like I prefer to do this, and then I prefer over this. That's what it is. Like your preferences.
I don't know if doing the right thing is a preference. I think it's the right thing.
Well, how do you determine what the right thing is? If it's not a preference, what is it?
Okay, so if you think killing someone is right,
killing somebody can be a preference. I prefer not to kill this person because I prefer not to go to prison.
I don't think it's a preference. I think it's a right or wrong. Like, I don't think it's right to kill people.
Okay,
I don't think
so
it's
if
right
somebody runs
to-
in your house and you have a stand the ground law and you stop them from killing your family, do you think it's rightful for you to stop them from taking out people and deleting your whole family? Do you think that's right? Self-defense?
For other people, yes, I do. For me, I couldn't live with killing someone, so I would take him out some other kind of way, but I wouldn't kill him. For me personally,
so you wouldn't stop an intruder with violence to just stop them.
Listen what I'm saying,
Like,
man. Oh, I'm gonna do something, but I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna do something. Believe that. Something gonna happen, and it's gonna be some fucking hurt. But I will not intentionally kill them.
Marcus, when I talk to you, let me tell you something. When I talk to you, Courtney, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna play Marcus right now.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, I'm gonna go to your gala function. It's an event. I got tickets. I'll be there. I'm gonna find a way to get there. What are you gonna wear, Martea? I'll have on something. And then you say, well, yeah, okay, cool. You're gonna have on something. Who you bringing? It's somebody I'm bringing. Okay, cool. And it's the first time that I got invited by you, Marcus, to your function. You putting on an event at some mansion party or something like that. And then I tell you, you say, are you gonna be there? I'll be around. This is literally the conversation that I'm having with Marcus right here. Like, because it's such a broad, like you're saying a lot of words, but you haven't told me anything yet. And I'm still waiting on it because you're telling me things like, I'm just going to do the right thing. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to do the right thing. As long as
I gave you an example of it. I gave an example. We can go with hey, I wouldn't like. There's for me, bro. There's not a specific thing that goes across the board. So would I fat shame someone?
You don't have a
No.
standard? Like that's what a standard is. Goes across the board. You don't have any standards?
Let me tell you. Would I fat shame someone? No. But if some bitch is rolling around or some dude like acting like an asshole and shaming someone else, yeah, I'll do it. So there's definitely like different circumstances, and it's in the moment of what it is. So for me, yeah, 100%. Like I wouldn't shame nobody. I wouldn't do that shit. That's not how I roll. But like, if some other motherfuckers like,
it's a preference. So what you're saying is it's a preference.
Based off his feeling in the moment.
Yeah, it's just preference. Yeah, that's what he's getting to. Okay. And that's cool. I'm not gonna judge you for that, Marcus. Your morality and your standard is preference. That's what it is. It's in the moment.
I guess. No, I'm different from everyone, but I get it, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, preference. Yeah, how I feel in the moment. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
If it tingles, bro, I do it. 100%.
Man, that line of questioning, bro, that was not the answer for you, bro. Especially you ask me the question you asked. He's man, Marcus. Are you from Atlanta, Marcus? Are you from ATL?
Courtney, you have any questions, sir?
This is crazy.
Say what now?
You have any questions over there?
No, I'm just listening in. I'm just listening in. You know, I like Martea's perspectives. You know, I do appreciate where he's coming from. I don't have any questions right now. I really don't. I'm just listening. I'm just gaining knowledge, bro. on all aspects. I'm just gaining knowledge on all aspects, bro. I'm just soaking up the information. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I feel like I got a girlfriend that I've been with for a long time, and I invited somebody into our home, and I'm seeing her become somebody that I didn't think she was.
Yeah. Am I the girlfriend who's different though? Am I the different girlfriend?
In a female's perspective.
So yeah, I would say
it, bro.
It's my own podcast. Is Courtney Edgar show.
Hey, you know what? This is the thing though. We all got different perspectives of life and how we do it. My thing is not, bro. Like in any kind of way, am I not a person who? I'm not a feminist. I'm not I look at life a little. I don't look at life different at all, bro. Like I just look at the realistic of shit. Like the girls I've dated, and we'll go back to girls that I've dated, are different. You know, because this is the thing though. Like I can see some of my friends and other people who have like a certain kind of dynamic with their women, and it's different. Like it's so different. And I keyed on how my relationship is with girls that I get along with. Girls like girls I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. So it's just a little different from anyone else. Just like you, John. Like you like the polygamous shit. I couldn't do it. I could do it, but I don't have enough too much bandwidth to do that shit, bro. I'm not trying to
after some of the questions that were answered tonight, let's just be honest. You don't want to take the leadership role in the home, and to have two women, your level of competence of being the man in that home has to be so. You have to have a very strict moral compass. You have to be extremely disciplined. You have to hold structure, and then you also have to live that out every single solitary day so that they understand and know you standing 10 toes down, you own business.
What?
Yeah, I do my bad.
That's how I do it though.
My bad. I do got a question for you, Martea.
Yeah,
I do
go
want
ahead.
I do want to get your
Since
perspective.
you want to super chat your old shit, go ahead. Let's.
Yeah, I had to.
Is this kind of like Inception? Is this what we doing now? Courtney, go ahead. You know you're allowed to ask a question without having to be an audience member, right? Go ahead, bro.
Hey, listen, I had to.
This
But
guy, this guy's okay. Go ahead, spectator, involved person.
That what?
Go ahead. You doing two at once. Go ahead. I appreciate the involvement. That's super engagement, by the way. Go ahead.
You wow. So look, what is your take on feminism? Do you think that it's actually hurting relationships today? Do you think it's actually hurting women, or do you think it's helping women today?
Yeah, this is one of those things where I'd rather ask a question to dive deeper, but I will tell you blatantly it's an L. It's an L. There hasn't, even since the inception of feminism, it's been bad. And I'll tell you things that people do not know. Since the inception of feminism, only 6% of women wanted to vote. When we talk about historically, only 6% wanted to. Rich industrialists invested into this movement and wanted to go ahead and use women as political pawns. Women had more power outside of voting than they did ever in voting. Now, if you take two sides of the spectrum and I divide 100 men and 100 women to one side, and it's red and blue, right? Republican, and in blue is for liberal, right? If I take 100 women and put them in a room, what color do you think that room would be?
Definitely blue.
Okay, definitely blue, right? But I have also a prescription too, a recommendation. What I would say that we should have it to where it's like we have a household vote, things like this. This also promotes marriage, single family units, things like this, things that feminism seeks to destroy outright. We have Margaret Sanger, people like this. They've created like a whole deletion of babies thing that happened with, especially with Black folk. Like, so if we talk about this, it's like they're promoting this at the same time while also saying, no, I want to have my body, my choice. Well, yeah, that's not a body inside of your body. Like I have a whole feminism debate, not a feminism, but an AB debate, because I don't want to say that on YouTube, that of deleting kids, why it's bad. It makes sense. But feminism promotes that too. But it's like you want to go ahead and promote the flourishment of women while destroying them at the same time too, because it's not boys that you're also deleting too. Also, another subset of feminism is we look at, when's the last time you saw a movie feature where there was a good feminine hero in it? We have things like Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, and John can attest to this. These are characters you could buy and you could believe in. You know, when we look at these characters, you can relate to them. They're vulnerable. You see them struck. Their character arc builds up and things like this. Now we got Captain Marvel. Oh, where'd you go to? Oh, you just bust with these powers. You have no emotion. Oh. Now you're just a husk of a man cosplaying as a. This doesn't make any sense. Cosplaying as a woman. It doesn't make sense. So now to box office ticket sales are bombing because people don't identify this. That's not a woman to some people. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up by saying feminism is an L, and all it is a trans movement when it comes to this, because they're taking women and saying you can be men too. That's not good, because now where's the femininity in society? The relationship you get into, you're hoping she's feminine. Feminism has weeded this out. We're destroying ad nauseum feminism out of women, weeding them out. They're becoming the men that they desire to be with, and that's what you don't want to be in a relationship. Now you're in a competitive environment because she makes as much as you. Now she's saying, well, how can we not do 50-50? Because I don't need your money. I can do battle by myself. We want men that are needed, not men that are wanted.
Can I give a shorter version of this?
Go ahead.
Hold on. Before you say it, hold on. No. It's just one thing. Just one second.
The number one thing,
Captain America.
Let John say it. Let John say it.
The number one thing that feminism has complained about and been against is the patriarchy. But feminism itself actually pushes women directly into the patriarchy. So how can you be against something that you want to join?
You mean it pushes women into patriarchal functions and roles? Is that what you're getting at?
Do they not want to be the leaders in the workplace?
Yes, they do. You're right.
They're the worst. They're the worst when they are.
What John's talking about is a performative contradiction that feminism presents. You can't complain about the thing while becoming the thing at the same time.
Everything that feminism has ever pushed is to put the woman on an equal playing field as men in an unequal game.
I would say it's a pseudo patriarchy because it'll never be a real patriarchy. So it's a pseudo patriarchy. I'd say that maybe a monarchy, a semblance of that. We already have monarchies, societies, anyways. And I'll tell you this: if you look online, it's a monarchy. It's not a patriarchy online. If you go online, look at comment section. If you go to what's the other thing? The other platform we talked about, there's hate all men. How come they can have this? But if you have something about H all women, you're automatically demonic. So it's leaning towards gynocentrism, feminism when we look online. So we can say that the world is patriarchal at its base, but online it's matriarchal. We're basically like just pleading to women the whole time, and it's what they say goes. And I think that that's just an inversion of what we have, and we're just pleading to them the whole time, even though men really do run this. Because if you have 98% of men running infrastructures and 87% of men run infrastructure society, if they vanish, society would collapse in a week. It would, because sewer jobs, electric, all this other stuff, the internet that we have, that women have this matriarchy on, would crumble absent any men. If we take men out of society, we're cooked. Courtney bobbing his head. He knows I'm right about this.
We're already there.
Marcus, you were about to say something?
Marcy said feminism took women out of the home to give it all, and the kids suffered.
Yeah, she's right about that.
It's been a minute since I gave a Don DeMarco to a woman.
What you had to say, Marcus?
No, shit. No, I was going on that Marvel shit, Captain America. I watched the other day. The baddest chick in there was like a little person. She's probably like 4'11", and was kicking everybody's
Marcus,
ass.
you sound like you about to go simp right now.
What are we doing here? You know what you're doing here.
What?
Stop playing.
Marcus about to sip right now. Go ahead, sip. Go ahead, go. I'm giving you. Go ahead.
No.
I'm not even gonna judge if you want to sip. No, go ahead. If you want to sip a little bit, go ahead, bro.
So
I'm saying it's bullshit.
I'm actually on the podcast.
I'm saying it's bullshit.
No, you said the baddest woman on there. Finish it. You might as well finish it.
Listen to me again. Listen,
go ahead.
How about this?
Hey, I appreciate you.
Look at me like I'm like, gee. All right, so check this out. It's fucked up because now we have to look at superhero movies, and we got a girl who's like 4 or 5 playing the badass who's protecting the president and can kick anyone's ass, which is not realistic at all. It's bullshit. It's dumb. Like all this whole like feminist shit that's going on, like it's dumb as fuck. Like I don't get it.
Like, heard about this situation.
Women act like they're like what you think a man would be in the 1930s, like just an asshole. Fucking, I run shit. I make money. I do this, and they're like kids, bro. They're like kids. So check this out. If you're 16 years old and someone gave you $50,000, like if your parents told you something, what would you what would you say?
Antoine Massey, I hear making all these videos.
Say you're a kid, 16 years old. You somehow you're able to get a hold of $50,000, and you say, "Yo, I'm not." Say you got a job at McDonald's. You calling out. Your parents say, "Yo," your manager calls me saying you calling out. Like, what are you doing? And then the kid's probably like, "Hey, like you just jealous because I got money. I can do whatever I want to do." It's literally how women act when they get in these certain positions, and they get so mad when you say they act like kids, but literally they do act like kids, like big time.
I mean, I just piecing together. I'm not gonna say you're bad at making hypotheticals, but you're bad at making hypotheticals. I will say this though. So to still man what you just said, just to repeat back what you said, is that women act like kids when they have more power. Is that what you said?
So I have to look at a situation where I can understand it. So I can understand it when I was 15, 16 years old. So when I was 15, 16 years old, how I thought about certain things, right? Like that's the only way I can like put myself in that situation. Everything was like it was just irrational. Shit was just not normal. You know what I mean? Like you would think certain kind of things that weren't true. Like, hey, like again, like I said, the example of if I had a certain kind of money, I would start doing some dumb shit. There you go. Anyways, I'll talk about it on a different point.
Marcus, I think if you could simp for yourself, you would, bro. Like you would just internally simp. If you could redirect the simpery, I don't think. Here's my thing. I don't think. Look, it's not a bad thing if I call a zebra, a duck, a duck. I think that you like whatever's in the bloodstream coming through whatever you have right here. I think that there is still simp DNA in you. It just reveals itself from time to time because you're unconditional with the standards you have. And then, case in point,
so by me saying that,
like, it's not really clear. I don't think you have a grounding from which to run shit from a house, and that's okay. A lot of men don't really know what they want in life, and I think you sound like one of these people that doesn't know.
So by what I just said right now about the whole like women, like, do you think I'm saying I understand it should be okay, or you think I'm saying like, yo, that's a bad thing, you should look at it a different way? Which way you think what I'm doing? I'm going with this. You think I'm like, yo, like,
think you know which way you're going with this, to be honest with you, because when I ask you questions, you don't really give me answers. You wanted to avoid one, and then when I give you answers, you're like, oh, it feels good. That's all your answers are tonight, bro.
But no.
Hey, can you be honest with me? Let's be 100, bro. When I ask you something, it just feels good. Just answer all the other questions like that, and it's gonna be the same shit you told me all night.
Okay.
It just feels good because it feels good. It's right because it's right. That's all I hear from you tonight, bro. That's okay.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good, bro.
Yeah.
Corny over the left.
I mean, I can't.
Corny over
there. There's no reason to sit and argue with you, because I think you get flustered, or like when shit's not like what you heard. Because most people have the same answers. Most people have the same answers that you've heard the whole time, and you have a rebuttal for it. So when I tell you something different, you don't know what to fucking say. So you're calling me that I'm doing something different. I just told you
it's the opposite. It's the opposite. When I ask you,
because most people,
I don't get flustered. John knows me.
Most people give you this fucking answer. They'll give you this thrown out fucking answer that like, oh shit, that sounds like a great answer, cool, and you can answer to it. When I tell you something real, like, bro, like at the end of the day, I want to be happy, and I really can't pinpoint what you're asking right now because it won't be realistic.
So a duty is not realistic. That's not realistic.
Well, I told you what a duty is. I take care of the
John,
house.
Hold on. Can I ask John? John, did you hear what a duty is from a woman from him?
Of course he didn't.
Wait, Courtney, can I ask you? Did you hear a duty all night? From what would it, from his worldview? If you were Marcus, tell me what a woman's duties were. If you're Marcus, tell me what that would be. What you heard.
If I was Marcus right now, and I heard
no. Based off of the conversation tonight, what was Marcus's
version of the conversation? What did you hear of a duty of a woman's duty? What is a woman's duty according to Marcus? The whole night.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one. I just had to get a consensus on this just to double check, right?
Hey, you got it. Hey, I mean, yeah, you're right.
But so here's the thing. The thing I appreciate about John, we may not agree on things like, polyamory, things like this, but
not
although polyamory gains, we don't agree. Polygamy. Let me go ahead. Semantics, which are important. I'll concede. Yeah, it's important. Okay. Because if it was the inverse and it was me, I would say I would correct you on that too. So, I see you, bro. So me and Myron Gaines also disagree on certain things too, but I think overall he's a net good for his movement, what he's doing. Me and John may not see eye to eye in certain things. Me and Courtney may not even see eye to eye in certain things, but we have to discern whether or not the people are overall good in this environment. This is what we call a manosphere. The reason why is because there's men here and we're getting together, and I hope I don't want to be in an echo chamber with people that just agree with me. Marcus, I don't just want to be here because I agree with you. The reason why I say this is because I'm going to probably talk shit to you to try to vet to find out if you're the man in the zombie apocalypse that's going to fight with us, or you're going to be back with the women. I think it's in our innate nature. When I shake your hand and you give me this soft ass weak handshake, I'm going to judge the fuck out of you and be like, oh, this guy's a puss. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you give me a stern handshake and I give Courtney a stern handshake, he's gonna size me up just from a damn handshake. Men do this since the dawn of time. And the good thing about what John does is he presents spaces to where we can get together, hash shit out. We're not gonna agree on things, but we're gonna decide whether or not somebody is an overall net good to society or bad. And to me, for me to understand like your worldview, how you view relationships, I'm gonna ask you some tough ass questions. Absent from your first dating experience, of course, but I'm going to ask you questions and we're going to vet this out just like we vet men out. You need to apply the same standard to women. I think it would help you out a whole lot.
No, I agree with you, man. Like
it helps a whole lot. You filter everything, right? Would you drink water from a pond without making sure that it's clean, not with bacteria? You don't just don't eat anything,
you have right? You have to ask the important questions, the questions that people don't want to answer. Oh shit, just personal to you, like it is. It could be your upbringing, could be whatever. For me, I mean, when you get real personal here, the reason I probably feel the way I feel is my mom didn't work, and I saw the drain it took on my dad. So for me, I don't want to ever go through that. So
well, I mean, men suffer. We suffer. We're supposed to till the earth.
We can go personal with it, and that's the reason I feel the way I feel. I feel the way I feel.
Okay, so I'm glad that you said that because that is very telling, right? Now, this is the thing I need you to ask yourself, okay, Marcus. Whether your mom was there or not, did your father still have to work?
What does that have to do with anything?
No, this is a good question, actually.
Oh, my dad was. Come on, man. No.
No, that actually goes straight to the point. He's actually cutting to the chase through all the bullshit. He's just asking questions.
Tell me what the point is.
Okay,
the point is.
Go ahead, John.
With or without her involved, he's still living the exact same existence. He's still going to the same job that he chose. He's still paying. You think
if someone's stressing you the fuck out about some certain shit that like you have no control over, you think it's different than you just working by yourself, or someone else has their own thing going on? Or you think someone else blaming people because they can't work and all kind of shit? Like you think really is the same kind of shit?
Okay, so
I mean, you probably won't know the kind of life I went through
because you're playing semantics at the moment and you're avoiding the question. So then I'm gonna go ahead and throw it right to you.
Yes. We all have to work, brother. We all got to work, man.
He's going to do the exact same thing with or without her involved. Just like whether you're a parent with the other parent involved or a single parent, one thing is going to be very apparent if you choose to be a participating parent. Is you have to raise your children, which means you have to pay.
I'm gonna tell you.
You have to be
involved. Okay, cool.
So with or without your mother working or not working, because as a man, as a father of that house, he could also put his foot down and be like, take your ass to work. But he didn't, because that's personal choice. So
all right, let's not get into my personal because you don't know about it. So
that's one thing you might. You can't throw personal shit out there and then be like, no, but we can talk about it.
But what you're saying is not the way it fucking goes down. So I mean,
so that again, this goes back to no. This goes back to our very first conversation in starting this podcast together. Is don't throw your personal shit out there if you don't want to talk about it.
But you're assuming.
No, I'm not assuming because I'm asking you questions,
what's going on.
Which goes into number 2. Answer questions. See, people are going to question you.
How about
when they question you, you have to be able to respond to those questions. And when you're not responding to the questions, guess what happens? People have no choice but to assume. So when there's an assumption and then you get angry over the assumption, well, the question was asked and you didn't want to answer.
What question was asked that I didn't want to answer?
Did your father live the same existence with or without your mom being there? Would he still have to
work? Do I think if that whole relationship had to work, I think my dad would have lived a lot longer. I think my mom would have lived a lot longer if that whole shit didn't work out. 100%. If it wasn't a whole bunch of other, I think it would have. So for me, just a little different, bro.
So I have a question, John, if I can interject here for a second. I just want to ask a question, but I'm going to ask it to Courtney because I want him to see Courtney's answer, Marcus to see Courtney's answer. The reason why I want to do this is because I think that sometimes we can learn from just, I'm not teaching, I'm not an educator. I'm just saying sometimes things can be a little bit more clear when it's not said to us. Courtney, I'm going to ask you a question right now. Do you think there's two men in this universe? There's two of me, right? Let's say there's two Martes, right?
Right.
One of them goes to the gym only when he feels like it. I feel like I'll go next Tuesday. You know, I'll go to Wednesday. We have people like that do this. They'll say, well, I don't feel like going to the gym today. I don't want to go, right? Then Marte number 2 goes to the gym regardless of how he feels. He says, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to go. Which Marte do you think is going to be better? The one that goes in his life and in his relationships, the one that goes only when he feels like doing this, or the one that goes regardless of how he feels? Which one do you think is going to be better in the gym?
Regardless of how he feels, he shows up regardless.
Okay, the reason why I say this is because when we have a husband-wife relationship, whatever this is, what John's getting to is if you have a husband that does it regardless of how he feels, that relationship is going to be better because he's fulfilling his duty. As far as if you had a dad that only went when he feels like this, the home would be more in jeopardy because bills would be like, maybe they'll get paid, maybe they won't. Maybe you have conditional paycheck coming in or not. That's a bad relationship by my standard. If we were to say like the gym standard that I said is the same that we can map onto in a relationship, what John's talking about, does your dad do this regardless of how he feels, and how would this be bad? How would this be bad? Because what would be the alternative? Not going to work wouldn't be it. This is the A/B question. You saying this is like you saying I'm not going to answer.
I need you guys to listen, man. Like I need you to listen, like instead of just to listen. No, my dad never left. My dad taught me, if anyone, stick that shit out, bro. Stick it the fuck out. Like if anyone in life has taught me anything when shit is bad, fucking stick it out, bro. Like 100%.
Marcus, that's not really not answering the question. It's stick it out, but it's like what I'm just asking you. Do you think your relationship with a man would be better if he's consistent and does it regardless of how he feels, or only does it when he feels like it?
Hold on.
Whatever duty this is, because I don't have a duty from you because you have you said protect.
No. Say it again. I feel a man does because he knows.
Let's say a man. We'll use because you named one duty from a man. Let's say a man only protects his relationship when he feels like doing it, and then the one that man protects it regardless of how he feels. Which man is going to be better?
Because he has to. He has to do it.
Okay, so he has to do this. So your dad had to go to work regardless, right? So it's kind of irrelevant. He just had to go regardless. To John's point.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, geez, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Like,
we're gonna go to the chat. Yeah. Marcy said generational trauma from father to son.
I feel like Marcus, you know how you have a cartoon and you have a foot nailed to the ground, and then you keep walking around because you step in. Like that's kind of you right now. Like you're gonna say, well, because it happens because it happens. That's the answer that I get from you the whole night. Like I'm not really hearing anything, but then when we ask you
just said the whole thing with a man. I said he has to do it because he has to do it. He's a man. He stays with his family because he has to do it. Like that's what he has to do. Like
I think because I fed you that answer, you're gonna tell me the answer that I just told you. You're basically telling you you're telling me back what I just told you.
Are you fucking shitting me?
I feel like I just fed you the answer. That's what I feel like.
All right, man.
It's cool, Marcus.
No, you gave it to me.
All right,
no,
so
this is wild though, man. Thanks for bringing me on, John.
Marte. Thank you, and you're welcome.
You know me, I turned up, bro.
Courtney, let's go into closing thoughts for tonight because this has just been
wild, bro. Like let's do closing thoughts. That sounds good.
No, this was dope. A lot of information here. You know, of course, there was a lot of good back and forth. You know, a lot of telling things. But overall, this is a good show for the people, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to get an understanding for how everybody thinks and just their opinions and thoughts and overall. And Martea, I appreciate you for tapping in with us. Definitely gonna have to link up with you, bring you on to the Courtney show too, you know what I'm saying, so you can holler at some people over there too. But no, I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you, your wisdom and everything that you've done and what you're doing right now in the manosphere. So shout out and salute to you, big dog.
Marcus.
Hey, it was a good conversation, man. Hey, we ripped it up, and hey, shit, man, yeah, good.
Martea.
John, you already know, bro. I'm about to wrap this shit up like a motherfucker. Okay, so just to go ahead and be concise and wrap this up, I think when I go ahead and talk to Great Value Beanie Siegel, I think from what I've gotten the whole evening was a lot of preferences, nothing really concise. So if I think that a woman is going to enter into a relational agreement with him, she's just going to get feels good. As long as you make me feel good, that's good. Whether or not there's like instruction or guidance is neither here nor there. It's just as long as it feels good and as long as it's right, which we don't really have a standard on because I tried to pin him down on this. Couldn't do this. He was evasive the whole night. And that's good. That's fine because at least we have like a documentation. We can rewind the footage and see this. I think that he doesn't really have an interpretation as far as like what his standard of relationship is. It's just how it's just like, we'll see what happens type of thing. And I think that oftentimes when we end up in relationships like this, we all know how it goes sometimes. I think that the best relationship that we could prescribe to people, whether or not it's women, kids, or anything like that, there's a universal, is a good hierarchy. You know, with me, Orthodox Christian, we have God, Christ, the Godhead is man, and then wife, everything else coming down. But I think we can then map this onto secularism. If we look at a relationship, you want a man that's the head of a household, just like a man that's the head of a job site. He wants his employees to have clear instruction and guidance and direction, and everything goes downhill. Otherwise, we have chaos. Absent direction, we have nothing but chaos in a feeling-ran society, and that's what I think is the down. We have downtrodden men because they're running through things just by emotion and not direction. And I think just to go ahead and wrap things up, thank you for bringing me on the podcast. Mr. Go Get 'em, Courtney. I appreciate it. We'll link up soon. Marcus, no hard feelings. I take nothing personal from this. It's always good. I at least got some insight from you. It's more, not really clarity, but I got some insight from you. And we got to go ahead and dive deep and peel the layers back and see what's
Like that dig, player.
what's really underneath all this. Our
So I want to say thank everybody for tuning in tonight. My closing thoughts on this is, you guys see the title of the show. I said that women run the world. Currently in the world that we live in the state that we live in, women run the world just for the reasons of a lot of this conversation. Unfortunately, there's just not enough men with their feet stuck in the mud. Okay. There's not enough men putting their foot down, speaking their piece, and giving you a standard, giving you structure, and giving you something to believe in. At some point in time, as a man, you have to, Bill. That's why you are called man. See, it's God, man, woman, children. The reason that he removed himself of that and gave us free will and said, here, man, run this, is because that's just it. As a man, it is your job to put yourself as the leader of all things, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there is no such thing as a weight being too heavy on your shoulders. Me personally, and I can only speak for myself. If other men agree, then they choose to agree. If they disagree, they choose to disagree. But I will never be downtrodden by a female, a woman. I will love you to death, but I'm going to make sure that when it comes to me, you have something to learn from. You have a standard to look up to. You also can look as a man that you 100% respect and you want to have and bear children with. And the crazy part about it is, if I've even become a man part of your life and you can't have children, you sure the fuck wish you could, because you want what you see in front of you. Think that is the difference between traditional men versus a lot of modern day men, and the thought process that a lot of men are learning and living today. Also, as a man, make sure that you are paying attention to what you are putting out there and what your children are seeing, because that can and will dictate what kind of man and or woman they will be as adults. That is what they too will also put out there in the world. It could be something amazing or it could be something the total opposite. So make sure that you yourself are standing 10 toes at all times. Tonight's show, Martea, as usual, what, this is our fourth podcast together?
I don't know. I kind of lost track actually, but
Yeah,
you know,
we getting up there.
I don't mind making appearances. So
Hey,
it's
you know
gonna
what?
be-
For the first time, we didn't have to go at each other.
Wait, hold on. What? What we
For the
saying?
first time, we didn't have to go at each other.
Yeah, that's true. I think that when you have men and there's confrontation within each other, I think that's also a vetting process. I think that for me to tell you that you're a bitch and you tell me that you're a bitch, that's actually de-escalation, believe it or not. Because if you go ahead and hit me in the chest, I'm going to be like, do I really want to hit him in the chest? Believe it or not, confrontation is a form of de-escalation. And I think that sometimes I think that you can know who the soft man is out of the group because he just goes along with everything. And I think that absent any confrontation, you just have allowance and everybody can do whatever they want. And that's not how even men's groups functions, like real men. So,
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are sitting at what, 68 viewers, 2.5 hours still into the podcast. So that's a beautiful thing. The number has gone up and it has gone down, but it has not been below 50 since 10 minutes into this shit. So, and this is before we tagged and do all kinds of other shit and do clips and everything else. So, Martea, you already know you're always invited. Good luck. You say you have some things coming up, right?
yeah, I got some things coming up. So, I have a podcast tomorrow on hybristophilia in women. That's a panel I'm doing. Then Monday, I have an anti-corn debate that I'm doing. The other side's going to be eviscerated. Some other debates coming on and coming up, and then I have flying out to do some other podcasts, as well as like Access Vegas with Rollo Tomasi and Michael Sartain. That's happening in July next month, amongst other things before that too. So if you guys can, by the way, give a shout out to my Crucible crew with Andrew Wilson. Give them a follow as well too, because those are they're damn near my family at this point.
I love Andrew Wilson.
Love those
man.
guys to death. You talk about family you would die for. Those are the people I'd die for sure. So.
All right, well, definitely want to say thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Cut the Noise.
Pow.